Hello and welcome back, finally, to the Everwind Chronicles. Sorry we've had a number of breaks due to sicknesses and all sorts of nonsense. So hopefully you enjoyed a good break too. The party, of course, has been a member of this rebellion in Lirindil for a while. They just recently returned from a successful mission reestablishing weapons supplies for the rebellion. Along the way, they ended up essentially kidnapping the princess of Lirindil through some luck or circumstance or a lead from another rebel who turned out to be somebody that Zenoa had already met, and they ended up, as far as I know, convincing her that her father, the king, and really the whole government of Lirindil was not doing good things, and seems like she has already been struggling with that for quite a while herself. So, with that arrival in the camp, Adris, the leader of the rebellion, proposed a very high-risk, high-reward plan to infiltrate an annual event called the Gala for Harmony, which is an annual event honoring various people who do things for the kingdom. And he tasked the party with either persuading a high-level member of the government of sufficient influence and impact to potentially work with the rebellion, or if that failed, to try and kill one of them. And under the auspice that if it came to that, they would most likely not survive, as the gala is going to be very, very well guarded in a very well guarded, probably the most well guarded city in all of Lirindil, and at a very high attention event. Though he said it doesn't have to happen at the event itself, it just needs to happen quickly, so that the rebellion can have a chance to finally tilt the scales, send the country to chaos, act on it, and hopefully win the war finally, instead of dragging it out for another who knows how long. The party went to the gala, accompanied by Lady Enthris and Sister Kiri, as well as a kind of mid-level minister that Adris had recommended, who was able to give them some more information about various people and things within Lirindil, and they were able to successfully listen into or meet or speak with a variety of people at this gala. At one point, they look around and notice Lady Enthris is gone, having disappeared. She then apparently sends Sister Kiri to take her place, saying that she thinks she's been made, whatever that means. But to continue on, and Sister Kiri kind of taking her place, standing out as a woman in a white dress amidst a sea of black and red. The party overhears various things, but one in particular was when the Court Wizard, Araziah, showed up, where Asura sort of made her way over to listen to some of his speech about his opinion about the rebels and what should be done with them, and walks away, and later it clicks that this is the same voice that they heard in the dream quite a while ago, basically narrating the extremely long, torturous process of brainwashing and transforming the Rixa twins into Belladonna and Vander Rixa, the powerful necromancers and very powerful bad guys that they had defeated in the first arc. So the mild panic sets in, maybe more than mild, to the party as they deal with things. But then they get summoned to They're meeting with General Cray, the highest leader of the military in Lirindil. And after this conversation with a very blunt, direct, and eccentric general, who expresses some disappointment in the way things are going with Lirindil, particularly their philosophy, believing himself to be he himself believing that people should be strong, that there's a lot of threats coming from all sides to Lirindil, even from within nowadays, with the weird creatures showing up and all kinds of other things happening in the world. That basically a storm is coming and people need to be strong to weather it. And a system where everything is provided makes everyone weak. And so he believes that basically they are weakening everyone through their, basically the nature of the system as well as the way they're going about it. And through a sort of delicate dance of conversation, they end up convincing him successfully to be willing to talk to Adris about the potential for change happening within the nation. And so, as they walk out, kind of nervously looking at each other, and Sister Kiri says, "You did it." And I believe Sarek was like, I don't know, we'll see. And she says, I don't know, I think we have a good feeling about this. And that's where we'll pick things back up. So, you guys are walking back into the gala, into the festivities again. As you have just walked out of this meeting with General Cray, what would you like to do?
I know it's really good news, but now we have a tough decision because we only have moments until we're going to be called.
Yeah. We still want to meet with Araziah. That's still the plan.
Terrified to be in the room with him.
After what you guys have told me, I'm not exactly enthused about that either.
I thought you said we had to, so that it wouldn't tip him off.
Oh, unless there is a reason for us to leave that is legitimate enough.
We're stupid foreigners.
I feel like
He knows they're not stupid foreigners.
Yeah, I feel like he knows who we are. At least
He
us.
does.
And
Yes.
I would rather meet and get a read of the man than leave now and have him pop up when we least expect it.
We can't walk in without collateral.
I understand what you're saying, and we can try to get the princess to go with us, but I don't know if that'll be enough to stop him if he really wants to.
He's not going to fuck his cash cow right now.
You say that. We don't know.
How well do you know this person?
Not at all.
I don't know this man at all, but I know what he has done. And it is horrific.
So why bring the princess in?
Because right now his cash cow is the king. The king protects him from everything. He can get whatever resources he wants to do whatever the fuck he wants. And if he fucks that girl in any way, shape, or form, the king is going to drop his ass.
I don't know, we've been having conversation after conversation tonight on who really runs the show here.
And it's a feeling that it is him, but he's running the show for action, but he does not run the show for face.
I think it's a lot of conjecture and assumptions, but if getting a high value person to come in there with us makes you feel better, I'm for that.
It is easy to disappear 4 foreigners than it is to disappear 4 foreigners and the princess of a country.
No, I'm not okay with this unless you know that he's not gonna pull something.
He's not dumb. He's not going to reveal his hand for the shits and giggles of it. This man has done atrocities to a country across the continent.
Are we in danger without her in the room?
Yes.
He will do something.
No, this man is dangerous, and he is vile.
But is he volatile? Is he...
I do not think he is volatile.
He doesn't.
I think he's manipulative and calculating. And he could take two people who loved each other, loved their country, and loved their friends, and he was able to somehow, out of nowhere, pull both of them out from their happy lives and fundamentally alter their brains to not even resemble who they were when they started.
Look, we just want information out of this person, right?
He prefers his privacy.
Are we going to get more information with her in the room or not?
I want her in the room.
I don't think he's going to do anything because not here, not tonight. Because if he does decide to act, it's not going to be, he won't act. He will find someone to act for him. The one thing that I do know about him is that he values his anonymity. So he wouldn't act directly. He would act through someone at a later point in time.
And I don't want to be the someone for a later point in time.
You're not going to be.
I want her in the room with us.
Sarek?
I don't know if it's actually going to make much of a difference, having her in the room or not. But I don't know the guy. Like, I'm going over what you guys have said, which he sounds calculating. And I think that in those calculations, anything that he would potentially even try to do tonight, regardless of who's in the room with us, probably don't go in his favor. Although, as you said, for foreigners disappearing or being called out for doing something, trying to take out a leader of a nation.
It is very easy to blame us for anything.
It is.
It's harder to blame us when the princess is in the room, too.
Fine. Fine.
To be honest, at least it would give us a reason to keep the conversation top level and not have any direct accusations thrown with a third party.
Is the rest of the entourage coming? And I'll look around for... Is it just Kiri at this point, I guess?
Yeah.
Yes, we haven't seen Kira in a little bit.
She's been off like with her own meetings.
Yeah.
Did we tell Kiri who this man is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is she with us?
Mm-hmm.
Kiri, are you going to be able to keep your cool in this meeting?
I'll do whatever I have to do.
Okay. Then if that's the case, you're more than welcome. We'd appreciate it if you come.
I grab Kiri's hand. I'm like, we're going to have to keep me cool.
That might be a bigger task. Like just the smallest of smiles.
Our meeting
Get your
is
friend.
our meeting is scheduled before the 5th, or before the 6th dance, and the 5th dance just ended. So, any minute now.
Yeah.
I'll go get her.
Okay.
All right. You see her again, as always, talking to various people and.
I'm not going to wait very long.
Okay.
Try to push my way through. It takes a little while.
Oh, but if you'll excuse me for a moment, thank you. And she turns to you as they kind of go off and.
I think
Hello
it's the
again.
end of the night, almost. Everything going okay?
I suppose it's about the same as it always is, though everyone's still quite tense. Everything's I mean, the speech probably helped a little bit for tonight, like Lita Tillman's speech, but you can tell everyone's still quite terrified of everything that's been happening lately.
Well, we met with the general. That went wonderfully.
Really?
Yeah, he's not my cup of tea, but I think everyone was cordial enough.
He's a hard drink to swallow.
Yeah. And we actually have one last meeting for the evening. The Court Wizard.
You're meeting with Araziah?
Yeah.
Well, that's not very... He doesn't meet with people very often.
How often do you see him or speak with him?
Not very often. Like I said, he keeps to his keep most of the time. I've seen him a few times here and there. Not very often.
Well, I think I might have one more favor of you for tonight.
All right.
I'll try and promise not to ask anything else, but I think we would actually prefer it if you joined us in that meeting. Do you think you could spare the time?
Well, what? I don't know him very well. Like, what would I be able to bring to the table?
Well, we don't really know him very well either. I think we all thought maybe having you there, having your presence there would put us in his good graces.
I see. I suppose that makes sense. Well, all right, if you think it'll help.
Okay, thanks so much. Could I mean, you can keep mingling or whatever, but could I grab you before the 6th dance?
Well, all right.
Okay.
If it's a meeting before the 6th, it probably won't be too long.
Yeah.
About
Yeah, sorry,
halfway
that's why I
there,
interrupted.
probably.
I'm sorry. Keep going.
No, it's all right.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Head back over. Is the king still on his throne over there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna walk away and give it like a minute and a half and just kind of like try to very subtly glance in his direction.
Okay.
Where's he look? Or where's his head? Where's his head pointed if he's got his helmet on?
At the moment, it's like looking off to the left.
Okay.
Kind of slowly moving.
Okay.
Like, doesn't have to seem to be like zeroed in on anything in particular.
Okay.
Do we want to tell you know who about the conversation before we go to see the wizard?
Also, she's in.
Thank you.
I can't remember if they let me bring in my journal.
Oh no, you don't have
We
it.
don't.
do
We
you?
didn't want you to bring it in.
Yeah, I don't have my journal, so no. But that'll have to wait till.
Wait, who do you want to talk to?
To
Treacherous?
Aiders, to let them know that we have successfully made
Yeah.
a connection.
Why don't we do that by the end of the night?
I was just worried that we didn't tell him before we had our meeting with the wizard.
Well, I think if we make it out of here without igniting this place in a total riot, he'll know that we got somebody.
It's fair.
I don't have a lot of magic, but one of those magics is fire-based, so we know how quickly I can light something.
Didn't you message him about General Cray? No, you messaged.
I
you
messaged twice.
Chris.
I messaged
Yeah.
twice though, because I went back out.
Yeah,
That
you
actually might be
did.
right.
Well-
Or no, was it?
One time was Enthras, for
What-
sure.
One time was interest.
No, both times were.
Or
Once
both?
was to let her know, or to find out where she was because she disappeared.
Yeah.
The second time was after we found out
Who found her out?
Oh, okay.
No, well, yeah, after we found out about the Court Wizard.
I feel like I talked to him
I don't know why I had that feeling too.
Maybe, but like,
Yes, because you were worried that they were gonna like ambush them, and so you told me to message him like, I
they
think
moved
something's
the
about to go
camp.
down.
Yeah, because he did. He said
Yeah.
he's going to move camp and...
But it wasn't about General Cray.
Yeah.
I think it was just about that.
Yeah,
Let's-
okay.
yeah.
So he doesn't know about General Cray yet.
Okay.
It's been a month.
Yeah.
You know.
We're all guessing here.
I was like, I just know that shit has happened.
Lots of it.
I absolutely told him about General Cray.
Hey, you owned it.
Do we want to try to go back outside and send a quick message before? Or do you want me to wait till after?
I think we can wait till after. I mean, it's
At this moment, a servant approaches you guys.
Oh,
Approaches you in particular.
Yes.
And says, "Ma'am, your meeting with the Court Wizard is almost ready.
Thank you very much. Which room shall we be
I
in?
can lead you."
Thank you. The entourage will be coming with us.
I'm gonna
If
go
you will.
grab the princess.
I forgot it was you that.
Yes, I'm the one who said my name to his face.
So all this is a search.
Yes, 100% this is Sarah's fault. Why do you think she's in a full state of panic and needs a body cover? She's panicking.
Wait, what is my? Got it.
Okay.
Every ounce of deception skills in her body is tingling at full force right now.
Yep. You guys are gonna have to laugh through your teeth.
Mm-hmm.
So, you guys gather up, the 6 of you, with the servant, and the servant leads you again through a series of hallways and to another area kind of similar to the one you met with General Cray, where there's a little bit of a waiting area outside, though even nicer than the one with General Cray, and you're sat there again with a couple of guards not too far from you here, just outside the door, and you wait.
I try to make like the most benign small talk with Sister Kiri as I can about like this is the first time I've heard music like that before. The dances were very unusual. Like trying to make them just like the observations of the first time coming to this country and how interesting and unique and a new perspective everything is, just to be as like boringly like conversational as possible to like distract my brain from the panic that is setting in.
Okay.
You're also distracting Zenoa. She's
Yeah.
trying to like shut up. I'm trying to focus here.
Okay. Anything else you guys are doing?
I just kind of taking in the general surrounding, looking for any way if we need to get out of here.
Make a perception check.
Okay. 18.
Okay. Just like before, you're kind of in like what might be considered like almost a cove off of the main hallway, where there's like a seat, some seats set up with the door there. And you can see the guards are posted on either side of that cove, kind of in the hallway, but so they're definitely not far. Like 10, 15 feet away from you, not far. You're more in the center, like not near the edge of the castle here, and it's still in the same wing that you had like explored before, but it's not maybe not an area, a particular hall you'd walk down, but it seems to be laid out somewhat predictably. Other than that, it's just the kind of muffled sound of voices inside, on the other side of the door.
Cool. That's it.
Stokes is chilling.
Okay.
Yep.
So, you guys continue to wait. you probably wait probably about 10 minutes in nervous, quiet, desperate small talk before finally the door opens and you see somebody from the crown that you know, some sort of like government uniform like you've seen before, walk out. Somebody you don't know or haven't seen before, exit, and you're invited in. And so you file into what looks like might have been a study or just like a living room of sorts, like where it's somewhat large, where there's some furniture that's been set on a blue rug in the middle, with kind of a large hearth with a fire going, keeping the room warm with some kind of simple iron chandeliers on either side, or a couple of them in different parts of the room. All together, lighting the room decently for being nighttime. You see Araziah standing kind of behind a couch, kind of in that gathering of furniture, around like a coffee table with some tea and some wine and glasses and things of that nature. And you just kind of see him like very stiff-backed and his hand kind of on his chin as he kind of watches you enter and take seats, I assume.
The door didn't lock or anything like that, right? Like it's still unlocked.
No, it closes.
Okay.
I guess you could check if it was locked. You don't really know for sure.
I'm not going to physically check, but I'm listening for
Make a perception check.
latches or anything. 15.
Okay. Not that you heard.
Okay.
Instead of sitting down, if there's like an arm on a chair, I'm going to sit on the arm of the chair of whoever is sitting in that chair.
Okay.
Like kind of like perch up.
So
a
there's
little higher.
there's like a little 2-seater couch, and then like 2 chairs, and then the couch that he's standing directly behind. How do you guys want to sit?
I'll post it near the princess.
Okay.
I'd actually like to stand behind the couch.
Okay.
We're sitting in.
Yeah, I'm going to put Sister Kiri in the chair that I'm going to sit on the arm of.
Okay.
Other side of the princess.
Okay. And as you're taking your seats, you then see a movement, and you notice you didn't notice it at first because of the kind of bright light of the hearth, but then as your eyes adjust, and you see kind of sitting, as the hearth kind of juts out from the wall, you kind of see a man sitting on the ground next to the hearth, up against the wall, and then you wonder how on earth you didn't notice him because of the sheer size of the man. Not in giant, not like in the terms of like a giant or a Goliath, but in terms of obesity. He is huge. And there's a certain droopiness to his size that almost makes him look half melted in a very weird way. And you see this dark clothing is you can see is greasy and dirty down the front, and this kind of greasy dark hair kind of drooping down. And he doesn't even seem to be paying attention to you guys at all. And you see him sort of stir and look up towards Araziah and is like, "Eat, hungry, just so." But he's cut off as Araziah just kind of sidelong looks at him and says, "Not now. You will not speak again until this meeting is over." And then he turns his gaze to you as the guy just kind of slumps back down, almost sinking into his own fat. he kind of like looks you guys over in this kind of awkward silence. And his eyes kind of linger on you two and Sister Carrie for a moment. Is it?
My symbol, yeah.
Okay. Well, then not you.
Okay, great.
So you and, well, Sister Carrie's is there,
Yeah.
so, and he says, Ixie, and what seems to be a peculiar form of the Rune of Children, if I'm not mistaken.
It was. It's been a little modified.
How so?
A dear friend gave it to me, and he had made it himself.
How disappointing.
Disappointing how?
That I'm always intrigued by people of certain potentials, who demonstrate certain competences. Yet I'm always disappointed by how prevalent such practices still remain to this day.
Practices of modifying religious symbols?
Religion at all. I have in fact made a study of the gods at one point, and I have concluded they are unlikely in fact to exist.
That's quite modern of you. Also, it seems I am an ex-believer, but it's not that I don't believe they're there. It's that I don't believe they care. It's pretty remarkable that you would admit that you think they don't exist at all.
Was there a certain finding of yours that led you to that conclusion?
Well, yes. It is undeniable that certain trends and patterns exist around what we call religion. However, magic is a strange and difficult to understand but still scientific fact. Rather than attributing these trends to some higher power that oversees the universe, I find other possibilities far more compelling. It is possible that there are powerful beings behind them, making them little more than a scheme of a fae or a fiend or some other powerful creature of requisite power and influence. However, the limitations of such creatures between realms contrasted with the ubiquitous nature of the pantheonic influence make this a poor argument. No, I believe that the strongest argument to be made is that they do not exist at all. There are certain strains of powerful magic, threading through the universe, branches themselves of a class of magic, much as how a fey magic might be classified separately. These strains have natural influences, flavors, if you will, much like certain plants that when ingested will have similar effects but vary slightly in taste or effect. And like such plants, these strains are powerful and strange, and tapping into them can have unpredictable effects. It may attract some creatures and repulse others, allow particular magical manifestations, and even cause vivid hallucinations, which many might call religious experiences. Visions, perhaps even conversations with their so-called deity, which turns out to be a mere psychedelic effect of their particular magical strain. I find no reason to believe that this is not the more compelling case, and indeed, this is a far preferable and advantageous conclusion for all the mortal races.
How so?
Such ideas come with shackles. Each deity has teachings. Gods, books. The gods have books, teachers. From the earliest records, those who tap into these strains produce all manners of code of conduct or so-called wisdom. The result, you might call morality, as we know it today. This is the origin. This is the reason people call one thing good and another evil. All such terms must be defined by something. Something must determine the boundaries. The presence of gods allows people to subscribe to this morality as objective. However, if there are no gods, then there is no objective right or wrong.
So then there is no morality, is what you're saying.
Indeed. Without a terrifying final judge who divides good and evil, then no such division exists. There is no one to make the call, no one to decide once and for all what is good or evil. There is only us. It is we who decide. We are our own gods. And if it is just us, and we are not assigned a moral code that we must follow, then what meaning is there? And what are we to do? I can see you can only choose one of two conclusions. Either one pursues their own hedonism, finding what enjoyment they can from a life without regard to others because it does not matter in the long run. The second conclusion is that they can focus on the advancements of their own kind. It then becomes the advancement that can be made when one is one's own god is undeniably advantageous. No longer bound by such traditional religious values, one is truly free. It then becomes imperative to do whatever is necessary for the advancement, proliferation, and protection of the mortal races. It is imperative to discover their better forms, to discover new magics, and new methods that will allow mankind, I include of course the other races other than humans as well, to move past the shackles holding them back, the heavy weights of old ideas and antiquated heavy morality. That is what we are doing here. Here we can do what is necessary to evolve.
This explains a lot of what I've seen in this country.
Are you the only one that believes like this? No morality, no gods.
Everyone is on their own, is in their own process of arriving at these conclusions. Once one begins to understand that the structure that has been laid out for us in this pantheon of ideas, once one understands that that is doubt-worthy, then the doubt only leads to this conclusion, if one is honest enough to pursue it. There are various people on various stages of that intellectual pursuit, and I say without arrogance that I am much further along in intellect than most of my colleagues.
I don't doubt that. I think my question was more, to me this seems a novel idea. So have you managed to convert others? Here, there? Or did someone teach you this?
There are some who are more intellectually open-minded, some more intelligent than others, able to follow, able to let go of antiquated ideas, and some who still cling to them, desperate for the comfort of their ignorance.
And freedom is your ultimate goal. Or at least it seems like based on what you say, you believe you've achieved that goal already. So with that comes total fulfillment, total happiness. Are those all one and the same?
My goals are not merely for myself. I did not opt for the first conclusion, but for the second. My goal is freedom for all the mortal races.
And you attain that freedom in the advancement of your kind. Is that what I'm understanding?
What else is there?
Well, for many, I'd say you're the minority in what you believe, which is fine. But for many, there's a lot more out there than science or chalking up the pantheon to some sort of horticultural phenomenon.
One need only spend any amount of time with a mob gathered to understand that the majority of thought is not necessarily accurate. In fact, far less reliable than many other routes of thinking. Being in the minority is hardly a discouragement to me.
Sure, but you do hold some sort of weight to experience, right?
As I just explained, one's experience, especially when one is dealing with magic, is a highly subjective thing, thus highly unreliable. Take, for example, and you see him like whisper something and wave his hand, and suddenly you guys are in a beach with blue waters and like a jungle behind you. You even feel suddenly warm, like the sun beating on you. You hear the sound of the waves. You hear the sound of birds that you've never seen before. And he says, "Where are we now?"
I want to put my hand down to the ground and see if I feel sand. Or do I feel the stone from, or the rug, that rug that was part of the center of the...
You put your hand down, and your hand sinks into sand. You pick it up, and it like runs through your fingers.
My senses tell me that I am on a beach somewhere.
Does that therefore mean that you are?
I would be hard-pressed to tell my brain otherwise.
Precisely. So experience is not an indicator of truth. And with a gesture, it is suddenly gone and you're back in the room.
Do I still feel like the remnants of sand on my fingers?
No.
So uncomfortable.
There is intellect outside of magic.
Indeed. Such intellect, I believe, can be mankind's savior. Because magic is only one part of the equation.
And how heavily do you rely on it?
It has been an important tool for me, but it is not the only one.
It's very impressive.
If magic is one of many tools, what is another tool that is important for this type of enlightenment?
There are many tools of accomplishment. Intellect, of course, is one of them outside of magic. There are tools that one such as Leader Tilden might implement. He is intelligent above average, but he is not of the same intellect as one such as I. His gifts lie elsewhere, in the persuasion and influence of people. This is a very powerful tool. When used in the right direction, very powerful indeed. One cannot ignore such simple things as money, workforce, and labor. There is, shall we say, a list of things out there that, when one understands truly, anything can become a tool.
You know, I'm curious, this whole morality thing, it's just such a new concept to me. what would you consider the greatest good, the greatest evil in the day-to-day, in a practical sense?
As I said, one must discover that for themselves, but it can only logically lead one of two places. Either one decides that the greatest good is to pursue yourself, your own joys and enjoyment as much as you can while you can. Or you can pursue the advancement of the race, of the mortal races, which I will call mankind for short term.
And you're in Camp 2?
Yes.
I see. And how do you do that? Improve mankind? I'm just curious what your job here is.
I have many jobs, many of which I cannot speak of.
Sure. Not a one. Got it.
I find myself curious about you, Miss Asura Vapula, and if I am not mistaken, a stoic stone steel.
That would be my name.
Though you, by my reports, you seem to be missing some members.
Yes.
Division among the ranks.
Let's just say this job isn't always the safest.
This is very true. Do you consider yourself patriots?
Of what?
Corandia.
Grundy has been incredibly kind to me. Therefore, I would say that I am a humble servant amongst its borders. For the kindness that it has bestowed me, I will do my very best to repay that kindness back by protecting where and how I can.
I would call myself a humanist. I believe I do have a lot of respect and gratitude to Corandia and a lot of loyalty, but I think countries in general shouldn't fight. So if there ever was a fight, I would try to stop it rather than take a side of Corandia or otherwise.
Yet you have done much fighting.
I have.
To protect its people, not its politics.
Indeed, you do not sound patriotic. There is a difference between gratefulness and patriotism.
There is.
Ardent patriotism is quaint, but would be understandable as a sentiment that would drive men and women to sacrifice themselves on the altar of a nation's well-being. If you are not Corandian patriots, then what would drive you to risk your lives against
She said it best.
such powerful evils?
To protect its people. Its people did nothing wrong. They did not ask one morning to wake up and decide to violate or assault some great unknown in the hopes that it would start a war. It found a place, they planted their seeds, and they did their best to create a life within it. And then a border was made around it. Politics were made above it, and they stayed to their lands. Again, doing the best that they could with what they had available to them to protect the people who are just trying to do good in their world.
As we would in any country we found ourselves.
Corandia just happened to give us a shiny toy and a title and a place to lay our head at night.
Shiny toys and titles. So you are but sellswords, who convince themselves of their own goodness by protecting people.
They're just living within their own system of morality. You can accept that, right?
I accept that most of the world is shackled. I like
Perhaps
to understand the shackles.
You said that the decision was one of two. The hedonistic approach or the advancement approach for the betterment of all. I am still in Camp 1. I am a hedonist. I care about myself, my happiness, my comfort, my morals. My morals also protect good people around me, those who I think deserve the kindness that is bestowed outward. I try to put a little kindness into the world for my own enjoyment, and in doing so, I put myself a little bit in harm's way from time to time for their comfort too. Some of us have to be hedonists so that others can be for the advancement of all. It does take both.
So you fall into the category of those who delude themselves, pursuing themselves while calling it moral, while calling it something that makes them feel better about themselves.
I'm delusional, yes. I'm also severely less intelligent than you. So perhaps I am still very, very new to your way of thinking. No one has ever put it forth in such a way before. It's the first time I've had to think about these things in the framework that you have given. I'm curious to know,
I'm always looking for people of great potential, if they are willing to learn.
I think I still have a ways to go on my own journey first, but I appreciate the sentiment. I am more curious because obviously I am now being introduced to a lot of new information that I've never considered before. My friend here asked before, were these all your original ideas, or like me, did someone introduce concepts to you that allowed you to expand outward, to come to these conclusions?
These conclusions are my own.
Correct. They are entirely your own. No one has ever said anything to you prior to now.
I take what everyone says, including this conversation, into calculation.
I see. So no great works of previous masters or wizards or books or anything that helped carve and shape that you can clearly link to the start of this journey for you.
That is a complicated answer, full of many, many variables, many, many factors. I do not have the time or inclination to go into all of them with you.
Understood. Is there...
Suffice it to say that I would not be a very good intellect if I were not attempting to do better than my predecessors.
That is incredibly smart of you. I think I'm more asking for recommendations, I guess, to expand my own mind. Any books I should look into, authors, previous studies that I should look towards.
There is no one who could give you what I could give you.
I see. I see. Thank you for that information. I will ponder on that further.
Is that why you invited us here? To...
Well, I asked
You
for the
requested this
invitation.
meeting.
That's
That
I
would
was-
have been my next question.
I guess I should have said, is that why you graced us with your presence? To evangelize?
I do not evangelize. You make your own decisions. I simply offer you the opportunity for something better than anything else you could find.
Which is
A true purpose for your life.
Thank you. My reason for wanting to see you was a combination of curiosity. The princess here has been telling us all kinds of beautiful stories about this country and the people that she happens to know, and that you are a bit of a mystery amongst the nobility is not the right word, but amongst the movers and shakers of this country. And of course, I am always curious to understand people a little bit better, especially because it seems that there is not conflict between you and Tildwin, but it seems that the two of you slightly view things differently about the actions of how things should be taken and the approaches, but you both seem to want to improve this country and its people. It's just, I was interested to know your different perspectives.
He kind of eyes you for a moment and he says, to use an analogy you might understand, in a military unit, one might one might fire a bow, another swing a sword, and another yet mend wounds taken in battle. But all three of them work towards the same goal. My comments about Leader Tildwin were simply facts about who he is and what his gifts are. That does not mean we are not pushing towards the same goal.
Well, that was not my insinuation. I was trying to better understand the approaches. Because I could very much understand one approach as an approach I have seen before in other places, but I had not seen the multi-layered approach to this country for such an elegant outcome.
I had understood the Folly to be those who avoided political involvement in their own country.
That is true. We try not to put our hand too much into politics, but there's one thing to not actively try to push a political leaning and being ignorant of politics. I refuse to be somebody who does not understand what is happening, even if I don't active involvement in it. I do not want to be a fool.
So, forgive my rudeness. You seem to know a lot about our group. Have you spent a lot of time in Crondia?
No.
Then how do you know of us?
I receive reports from all over the world about all sorts of people of potential, as I have told you I am interested in.
And yet you knew our faces.
I have received descriptions of your group after your accomplishments in Corandia. They were of note, and I make note of the noteworthy.
So, if you don't mind me asking, who's your contact in Corandia? Maybe we know them.
I have many.
Well, we don't directly involve ourselves in politics, but we are pretty well versed with the politics of Corandia and know the players very well. So I find it strange that your report would advise you that we abstain from politics. I mean, obviously we're here as guardians and representatives.
As I said before, I am interested in those of potential. And understanding what motivates people of potential is part of that research.
And you see us as people of potential?
Yes. But I also see you as people currently acting out of character. As someone who has avoided politics in their own country suddenly comes across the world to become interested in politics here. I find that most intriguing.
That is true. I think that is a fair question.
It is, but if your reports were very good, you would find that the representative for Corandia that came here is a very, very dear friend of ours. And we would do anything to secure her safety.
And you consider meeting with the Court Wizard and inquiring about his research and his politics part of keeping her safe, the bodyguard work? I find this most out of character.
No, that was my morbid curiosity.
And now it's time for you to explain the motivations behind these people of potential.
Pardon?
Why are you here?
Curiosity.
Why are you curious?
Because there is so much to this world that I do not understand. And yet, there is a country like Curandia, which is suffering because of the, how do I say, incongruity of the wanted goodness of its people and how its people are treated by themselves and each other. I know a little bit of what it is like to be a tiefling in this world, and it is very different. And then I see a place like this, where everyone is given what they need, because equity above all seems to be the driving force of a country like this. And how is this country, as large as it is, with so many different types of people within it, able to do that, and another country like Curandia is not? That is a fascinating thing, and I want to understand.
Roll a deception check for
I
me with
will.
disadvantage.
No! Don't make me roll with disadvantage. That's not inherently a lie. I am curious.
What's the princess's general feel
Oh,
right
gosh.
now?
I can't roll less than a 10.
Okay.
21.
Okay. He says, if you are going to be deceptive and waste my time, there are others here that would have more time to spend with you, who would be very curious about your motivations for being here. Shall I fetch them? Or can we speak openly?
I am speaking openly. I am just speaking for what is the company line.
The company line.
For we are in the company of you.
Does she speak for all of you?
I am a heatheness. I speak only for myself.
I can tell you that happenstance kind of brought us to your country, and we took an intrigue to its people and its politics. And so we had an opportunity to come take the measure of the men and women that are forming those policies and governing these people, and we took it. Which is also what brought us to prompt the meeting with you. You're one of the most renowned and known people in this country. We've also met with Tildwin, and we've met with your generals, and we've met with your merchants.
Did you gauge the princess's feel? Did I miss that?
Because I was trying to see if she was like tense or just
Roll
like.
an insight check.
Okay, I was kind of curious. Yeah, not the same.
I'm kind of curious too. Can I roll as well?
Yeah, sure.
13 for me.
Okay.
23. 22. Sorry.
For you, you see she's kind of following the conversation with just the slightest little frown on her face. For you, you kind of get the impression she isn't fully following everything or the subtext of this or really anything that's being said in the main text of it. Like,
Does she feel scared though, or she's just trying to follow what's happening?
I think she's
So, like she's
confused.
working
Okay.
hard to catch up. Okay.
Roll a deception check for me real quick with disadvantage.
I mean, his is more right than mine was. We did kind of
You're still being
happenstance our way.
evasive and deceptive.
I am being evasive. I will give you that. I'm.
And he's stated he thinks you're being evasive, so.
Damn, one of those was a nat 20.
Oh no! Please do better than me.
22.
Better.
One better.
Is my channel divinity as well?
Do what?
Is my channel divinity as well?
I mean, it might depend on what you're using it for.
Knowledge of the ages.
Damn, one of those was a nat 20.
That's
I rolled 2 11s. So, I rolled. No, I also rolled. No, I rolled. Oh, I rolled 22, not 21.
Not a big descriptor on it, so I was
Yeah,
just gonna ask
still.
you.
I math. I rolled 11 plus 11.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, it's magical, but it's not. I don't think it's considered a spell.
It's just like a skill. It's like a innate gift. You
I
have.
just want to know if it's like traceable. If I did it. Okay. Just keep talking.
Well, I work up the courage to.
So, with that deception roll, he says, "Fine, if we're going to waste time." And he turns and starts walking towards the door.
We apologize for interrupting your time and for
Offending you?
offending by being obtuse. But just as you have to keep certain things close to you for your particular reasons, so do we need to keep things close to our belt. I'm sure you understand the importance of secrecy for the sake of helping.
But I am not prying into your secret involvement in whatever it is you're doing. You are prying into mine.
How so?
What is your motivations for being here?
How are we prying into anything?
Because you are eerie and strange and slightly unnerving. And I wanted to understand you.
Why?
Because powerful people in this world who are unknown can do anything. And we saw great power in Corandia used for great, terrible things. And there are other great powers still left in this world. And
And yet you are here.
and it is important to understand those powers.
Why?
To know if they
What
are
would you do with that information?
protect. Like you said, you are keeping track of great people. Cannot others also do the same?
You wish to protect who?
This world and its
From
inhabitants.
me.
No, not necessarily from you. We had to gauge the measure of you. You are an unknown variable.
I think my friend here is in camp too, maybe more than she realizes.
Such is the self-delusion and the nature of it. No one who considers themselves to be hedonistic would go across the nation pursuing very, as you put it, dangerous and strange people. There are many powerful wizards in this world, and you wish to, and all of them dangerous, and you wish to seek them out simply to understand. I am not a fool, nor am I to be dissuaded by mere curiosity when your life is on the line for such things, nor am I to be persuaded that some mere goodness of your heart drove you to risk your life against the skeleton of a seed giant, or an army of undead, or anything else that you may have encountered in Corandia.
And no stupidity led me to a lot of those decisions. I am a fool, and I do not wish to be one forever. I follow. I follow what people say is good.
As I said before, there are many powerful people. Whatever your motivations are, you are here at this powerful person.
And why
And you
do
are trying to get information, and I want to know why. Else, I will speak to people who will find out.
I'd like to know your guess first. You're a smart man. You're obviously paranoid and well-informed. I mean, you seem frightened, to be honest, that we are here. Which intrigues me. Why do you think we're here?
You see an eyebrow arch, like just a little bit, and he says, "I seem afraid."
You seem quite panicked and ready to go run and get help. Because we're having a conversation that you agreed to have. We've asked you no questions about any secrets. And you're ready to go run and get help. If that's not scared, I don't know what is.
Attempts to goad me or call me a coward or any such thing do not have any effect on me.
Good. Because I'm not trying to goad you, I'm trying to understand you.
I simply do not have time for such games.
Then we'll leave. You're the one that seems to think we're a threat. And I'm curious why you feel so threatened by us.
Because never before has a foreigner come into our land and asked such questions for no reason.
What questions? A meeting? We've asked you nothing. You explained your vision and your thoughts on religion. We've not had a chance to ask you a question.
Here is my suggestion. You will depart from this gala, and you will depart from Lirindil immediately.
Seems fine with us. Thank you for not letting us ask any questions.
He opens the door, and you see the big fat man kind of rise up for a second, and then sort of almost seem to remember something, and then slump back down. Araziah walks over to the door and calls the guard over and says, "This company will be leaving the nation imminently. Please ensure the safety of their departure." And then he exits the room.
Fair enough.
And you just hear the fat man go, "Can I eat now? Are you gonna feed me?" And the soldier kind of glances nervously at him, but says, "Follow me, please."
Part of me wants to push the soldier towards the fat guy, but I don't know if he'll eat him or not.
Yeah, there's something going on there.
Yeah.
Lead the way.
All right. So you see, soldier, the two guards take you up, and one of them says, "Princess, your grace is probably, or your what's the proper princess address?"
Oh,
Your Highness, Your Grace,
I'm a
Your...
Highness, Your Highness, that's what it is.
Yeah, Your
Sorry.
Highness,
Your,
Your Majesty.
Grace,
I don't
Your
believe in no.
Brightness, no. Your Highness, it's probably best if you return to the gala.
Mm-hmm.
Just a moment before you depart. I would like to apologize. We seem to have made a bad impression on your wizard. And we did not mean to make you feel awkward or out of place. Or we did not mean to be rude. So I am terribly sorry.
Roll a persuasion check.
But I'm speaking to the princess.
Oh, to the princess,
Yeah, not to the guard.
Oh,
Not
okay.
to the guard. Fuck the guard. I'm apologizing to her.
Oh, okay.
I don't
Okay.
care about him.
Okay, then never mind.
Yeah, that's why I brought that up. I was like, wait.
I don't really understand what just happened, but he's not. That's not good.
We have a feeling that we have caused a great problem. I understand why he wants us to kick us out very quickly. Are you able to see us before we depart?
I think he wants you to leave now.
Understood. I'm gonna lean in really close to her ear like I'm giving her a hug.
Mm.
He's a very dangerous man. And we know him well.
And she just kind of nods as you kind of break apart. And
Thank you again very much for your hospitality. And we are so happy that you're home safe and that we could help facilitate in that. And I hope your country will remember that.
yeah,
And I hope you.
I don't know. Father's always had a very high opinion of him, so I don't. Should probably leave.
Understood.
I'm so sorry.
Do not apologize to
You
us.
didn't do anything wrong.
I'm sorry I couldn't help more. I didn't really understand what was happening in there.
It's better that you didn't.
That makes 2 of us. You're
Yeah.
fine.
I don't think we fully understand what happened in there either.
Yeah, I genuinely don't understand what happened in there at all.
I don't know. He seemed to be under the impression you were there for. Well. And she kind of like glances at the guards and. I don't know. Everyone's paranoid right now, so.
Understandable.
It's fair.
And the guard's like, Your Highness. And she just kind of nods and.
Wait. I'm gonna grab her hand and hold the ring. You take care of yourself, okay?
You too, please.
You are more powerful, you're stronger, and smarter than you think, okay?
I wish. I hope that might be true someday. Just please be careful.
I'll just squeeze her hand.
And she just kind of stands as the guards lead you, and there's some gestures, and a few of the other guards that are guarding the hallway and everything like that fall in around you
I was curious about.
as a group now begins escorting you out of the gala. As you guys go.
Winking and doing finger guns at people.
I was gonna be very tall and regal as I'm walking out, like not like looking cowardly or in any way, like not like this is not a beautiful thing that we're being escorted out.
People out there right now.
As you are, as you guys make your way through the halls and then eventually out into the kind of lobby reception area, and you start getting a lot of looks, as this is a very clearly attention-grabbing thing. You see a servant approach, and you hear with one of the guards escorting you, and they almost seem to be arguing for a minute. But finally, the guard just kind of throws his hand up for a second, and the servant approaches you and says, I need to relay a message to Lady Enthris.
She is currently occupied. We can get that information to her directly.
All right, and he hands you a card and says, Leader Tildon would like to invite her for dinner at his designated estate. And he turns and leaves, and you find yourself holding a card with very fancy calligraphic writing on it. Just basically a very simple invitation inviting her to dinner, and just kind of the location of where his assigned estate is. And attached to it with a ribbon is a rose, a gray rose that's kind of like charcoal at the edges of the petals, and then kind of fades to almost to white at the bottom.
Okay, that's the aesthetic.
So that's good.
I'm gonna hold it
I'll
in
take that.
such a way that like lets the entire room see that Tildwin is the invitation. so that it doesn't look like we're being escorted out of shame, but like somebody very important has delivered something to us, so we look real important. Like I am, whatever little peacocking I have ever learned from Empress, I am trying to give the illusion of like we are being privately escorted for an important reason, and now we're getting our asses kicked out of this party. I am desperate right now to save face for this group.
Okay. So they continue escorting you out. They escort you out the front gates, front door, and kind of go off to the side where you can see there are some like black carriages of a much sturdier nature. One of them opens the door and gestures for you guys to go inside.
We have a walkable distance back to the lodgings.
We'll be escorting you for your safety, ma'am.
Do they look like we're about to be like put into like some sort of like jail box and sent off somewhere?
It's not a jail like carriage per se.
But does it look like they're gonna lock us
It just
in this
looks
thing?
like government owned. Like
Okay.
It definitely looks like they're locking us in.
Where are we being escorted?
Back to our lodging.
we've been instructed to escort you to the border.
Yeah.
What about our lodging
And our belongings.
Your lodging will be taken care of.
and our belongings?
I will see what I can do, but we are to escort you to the border.
That's not gonna work for me.
Yeah,
right
we're-
now?
give us a lowdown.
Two guards.
Two guards. How far?
Sorry. Carts, like two.
Oh,
Two
two
cards.
cards.
How far away from the palace are we? How many? Like, are we at shouting distance from other guards?
Yeah.
That's
Paint us
kind
a
of
word
information
picture.
that we're looking for.
Yeah.
Okay.
We need to decide whether we're fighting our way out
Yeah.
or not. Which
So,
Please do not find our way out of this.
I thought we get out of the city first, but
yeah, I know that's valid.
at the moment, you had 8 guards surrounding you, like that had kind of fallen in. You've got kind of a couple of rows of guards on either side of the main entrance that you guys have kind of gone off from. So probably a dozen more around there, and they're probably 30 feet tops away from you, like the first line of them. And you know there's more different places as you came in through the front gates to the through the main kind of courtyard and driveway, if you will. You saw other guards in different places and some on horseback kind of riding around and stuff like that. So
This needs to get dropped off at our lodging for Lady Empress.
we can pick her up from the lodge or from the inn
also
and bring her with you.
Sure, then if we're stopping at the lodge, then we can also pick up our things at the lodge.
We will be picking her up and we can reunite you outside the city.
no. We came as a group and we'll leave as a group.
I'm afraid that's not possible. Please get into the carriage.
Is there anybody who's one of the spell casting people, like the one who's been monitoring?
You do see one near the door, or I should have made you do a perception check, but whatever. You do see one. You actually, looking around, you notice one standing kind of right outside the front door, looking in your direction.
I don't know how to get us out of this other than to get us in there, because I don't want one of the magic users to monitor us, because we need to start sending out messages real fucking fast.
No, and that's fine.
Wait, how far away are they? The magic person?
Probably about 30 feet.
Within being able to detect.
Okay, remind me, because I know we got all our stuff in the bag of holding, which is in a
Secure place that
location.
Empress is currently
Empress.
at.
We're not at.
In the abandoned area.
Yeah, right. But Empress isn't there. She's at the lodging.
No, she's with
She's
her
in the
stuff.
abandoned
She's in the
shop
abandoned
that she
shop.
Gotcha.
shop that she found in the abandoned district,
Got
as
it.
part of your escape route, waiting just in case.
You still have any messages left?
Yeah, but
The thing is, we can't cast message right now because we have a magic
We go
user
ahead and get
watching
the
us.
cart.
Please get into the carriage. You see the guards are starting to get
Yeah.
there's 2 carriages? How big are they? Are they going to put all of us in one and nobody in another? What's the
they
plan?
seem to be wanting to split you guys up.
Of course they do.
Let's
This
be
needs
strategic
to
about
be
that.
placed in Empress's hands.
You can place it in her hands when you see her.
Then how is she supposed to get back into town?
Please get into the carriage, ma'am.
I just get in.
Yeah, let's go ahead and.
Fine.
So, like, it looks like they're going to direct you
2
to
and
do
2?
3 and 3. Like, so.
Oh, that's right.
This is
Six of
Kiri
us.
and
Yeah.
then
So,
Jim
no,
and the other one.
5 of us.
Split me and Carrie.
5 of you right now, and then they say they're going to get Lady
Yeah.
Empress.
Okay.
So 3 and 2.
I grab your hand and I go in.
Okay.
I grab Kiri's hand and go into the other one.
So, which one do I want to go? I'll go.
Sophie's choice, right?
I'll go into Kiri's and.
Okay, so Zanon, Sarek, and then Kiri, Asura, and
Stoic.
okay.
And it's just the 3 of them and the 2 of us inside the carriage.
Yes.
Is there an Undertaker in the carriage?
There'd be a couple dead people.
No,
in
but
the
you
carriage
do
and
see,
stuff.
and you've probably seen something similar even back in Karandia, like a similar style of carriage of like, there's room for multiple people to sit and some others to like hold onto the back, like guards would hold onto the back and that sort of thing as like a more secure way of traveling, so to speak.
Yeah. I'm going to be peeking around to see how many guards, once we get a little bit further up, how many guards are actually with us.
Yeah. Sure thing.
1 step forward, 2 steps back, guys.
Mm-hmm.
So, as you guys take your seat, like you barely have taken a seat, when you just feel a little bit of a jumble and then a lurch as the carriages start moving forward at a pretty decent pace.
Does Kiri have a message or like whatever the cantrip one is that doesn't like take up too many of her spell slots?
We have our tattoos.
We do.
Oh, we have our tattoos. That's right.
Mhm.
Wait, you have a tattoo?
I do.
Yeah, I'm the only
I'm-
one that doesn't.
Yeah, I immediately grab my tattoo, and I go, all right, we need to start counting people really fast. Kiri, can you message?
No, not yet.
Okay. Call Empress right now.
Top
And let her
priority.
know what is happening with our quick escort out of this country, but also the fact that they are going to pick her up at the inn,
Lodge, yeah.
like the
They
lodge.
said they were taking her to the border too. To
Yes.
meet
Yeah.
us?
That she's going to be met at the they're bringing her to the border too, so she needs to get her ass to the lodge
Which,
ASAP.
quick question, Dim. Where are we in relation to the border?
You are. I believe I can show you.
Like, are we a couple hours, a couple days,
Mhm.
a couple weeks?
That's a good question, too.
You would know it's not a short journey.
Yeah, I kind of assumed that, but I was just trying to figure out about how long.
Uh-huh.
And what seems to be the direction we're heading, like which exit.
Which gate?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'd say looking out, it's probably not hard to figure out you're going south, like the southern gate.
Okay.
Or at least in a southern direction on the city. You're probably.
Because we're not an easy group to hold.
But also, Idris needs to know. So, if dependent, does he want to ransack the cart or not?
Well, that's why I was like, we'll
Wait,
leave.
you said Enthras, not Adris.
Yeah,
Okay,
Idris
that's what I-
first, and then we need to contact Idris
Okay.
Yeah.
and let him know that we are currently being forcibly escorted to the southern border to get our asses out of this country because the
We know it's the southern border.
we're heading south right now.
Okay.
Give me a second, I can fix that.
Yeah, that's why I was like, we'll leave. Because I'm like, as soon as we get out of this town, we'll just fucking
Here we go.
beat someone.
I know, but I didn't want to leave without my shit.
I don't want to leave without my shit either. I'm like, damn it.
Just let her know first what is going on and what is going to happen to her, and then Idris needs to know what is going on. Everyone needs to know what the fuck is going on. And I'm like,
I know it's hard to see on the.
25 words. 25
Yeah.
words.
But basically, this is the city of Unity right here. So you're looking, and if they are heading back to Fort Relica down here, then you're probably looking at 4 or 5 days, depending on the pace and everything else. So.
and Relica was how we got in from that one location the first time, right? When we were on the...
Yes, that's how
The
I
first time we've been kicked out of this country.
Well, technically, it's the first time we've been kicked out of this country.
True.
It's a rite of passage, though. You know,
Yeah.
just gotta get kicked out of countries.
Yes, Entrus first, Aedrus second, but they both need to know immediately.
Okay, I got sending.
Okay.
Oh my god. Got kicked out. We're headed to the border. Right now, they're coming to pick you up to meet us.
Be at in.
You
Be
probably
at
have
the
about
end.
10 more words, roughly.
Yeah, and hide, and we need our shit.
Yeah, we need our things.
Okay.
Thought that went without saying, but you know.
Just to read it. I really want my shit.
Just screw us over.
I know she knows, but I want my shit.
Oh dear. All right. That's it.
Okay. Now send one to Aedrus. Same thing. We got kicked out. They're taking us to the border right now.
Southern border.
The southern border that we think.
Come pick us up.
Well, he also has a meeting with General Gray.
Got you a meeting with General Cray. Help?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Scared.
After a moment, you hear.
I'm not afraid anymore.
You hear me?
Well done. If south. I'll notify Safe House in Olden.
Olden?
Olden.
Olden.
Try her.
Okay.
There's
If east, Daladan.
I don't see Delaware on the map.
Yeah, it's not on the map. Or extract yourselves.
Yep.
Let me know when we get out of the immediate city of Unity. Right? That's we're in Unity.
I think he's. Oh, I'm sorry. He's still saying.
Deladan.
He's still got Daladan.
Daladan. Excuse me.
He's still got a few words left. He's saying if you do, let me know.
The third option, if we do that.
If we self-extract, yeah.
Okay,
Which-
I will relay that to you guys, you two.
Just want to know.
South is Oladan, east is
Olden.
Olden.
Daladan.
Which you've been to before.
Yep. South is Olden.
Can,
East is
from
south.
where we are,
3 minutes already due.
Is that where that barn?
because I know the world thrones are pretty big, can we see the world thrones from the city
Oh, I'm sorry.
at all? I know they're pretty big.
Yeah, you probably see it from here.
Are they on our left or right?
Yes.
On the
Or our
porch.
left? Yeah, are
Was
they
it
on our,
against all this bullshit?
are they on our left, or do we not see
Well, you're
them
still
at
in
all?
the city at the moment. So
Okay.
You're looking at city buildings. At
Okay.
The
We
moment.
could,
Okay.
we could make it.
Yes.
We could go south.
Once we're out of the city, let me know.
The world thorns are
Contact
east of
sortie.
the
Let's get in the
city.
middle.
Right, that's why I
It's
want.
on the map.
Yeah, that's why I want to know if we're heading south or if we're heading.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But yeah, once we're out of the city, I want to. Yeah. Sorry
So
about
as
that.
you pass out the main gates of the Hall of Heroes, you see as you're looking outside, you see a decent-sized group of mounted soldiers who also pull in with you guys.
Yep.
Oh, so we got a full.
And
Oh,
escort.
yeah. There's no way they're
Full
going to send
escort.
4 people to guard us.
I was kind of hoping.
We can take him. We got this. Come on, let's do it.
I've got exactly like 2 pins in my hair.
But I am.
I can do like a
keeping
point of
my eye
damage
out
if I
for, like,
stick them in the
rare
eyes.
Okay. You didn't see any on that particular group.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to take full stock of how many people we have as our like.
And what kind of people?
Yeah, you
what
can't
kind
really
of
see
people?
too much. It's just you only saw them because they were here, and it's like you guys were traveling this way, and then you saw them start to move to fall in as you guys pass. You can only see so much from either window of your carriage.
I'm gonna let the other carriage know how many I saw, and like how many and who I saw.
Yeah, probably about 20.
20 armed people
On horseback.
on horseback. We do not have any weapons in our hands, so self-extraction is going to be a challenge.
I am a weapon.
No. I'm like, nah.
This is what I wish we had a monk.
Right?
I wish we still had Easy, because when Easy was with us, we had enough to cast Fly on the entire party.
Yeah.
And I can't cast Fly on the entire party. I can only do it on 3 of us.
Bye, Sarah.
He may not have been allowed his focus, so or his components or whatever. So
Yeah.
he wouldn't have been able to-
Yeah.
All right, so you guys head to, rolling down the kind of cobblestone, which is a little bit rougher than you think. It's still smoother than you expect, but still kind of rough when you're moving at this pace. And after a little bit, like about 10 minutes or so, it lurches to a stop, and looking out the window, you see you're in. And you see like some soldiers going inside, and coming back out. You see Inthrus carrying some stuff, like looking very weird in her dress, and still in her dress, and like carrying bags on stuff herself. Apparently the guards are not helping her, and
And her mysterious thing is nowhere to be found.
I'm gonna scream at the guards. Make sure you tip the innkeeper.
he's behind her, like kind of lurking behind her, but not carrying anything.
Okay.
And they open the door to you guys' carriage, which she takes a glance in and kind of nods to Spectre, who gets in with you guys, and she's like, I'll ride in the other one. And she goes, and they take the bags and apparently load it somewhere on the carriage, and she steps in to cram in with you guys.
Okay.
With security.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And again, no sooner than as she sat down than the carriages lurch forward again.
I pass her the letter and I go, well,
You got a date?
you have a date, and we have an exit.
She sat next to you and turns to you and says, did you notice?
Which part?
Do you remember what I told you?
That was a month ago. I don't. Does Stoic remember? Because I
It was
don't.
longer than that.
It's been a while.
Like in one of your conversations with her
Oh man.
across the distances.
I don't remember.
Roll a history check for me.
Let's see if Stoic
Nat 20.
remembers. Nat 20!
Oh, did you really?
I remember everything.
I remember everything.
You remember her
Taylor.
the conversations you had with her over through your book,
Yeah.
and she told you to look for certain things. Do you remember what she told you to look for?
No. If I search, I might have written it down somewhere. No, I do not remember.
I'm trying to give you a chance to.
I know.
Roll a nat- come on, nat
I
20.
rolled a nat 20, man. I know. Like, you look at my notes. I'm terrible. I don't remember.
she just kind of like, she looks down at the invitation and like hands it to you
I studied
with
it.
the rose on it.
God, what did she tell me to look for? Hey, I faintly remember that. What does the ash represent?
Do you remember me telling you to look for anyone who had an affinity for them?
No way.
Stoic, they're not native to Lirindil.
No, they're not, and I do remember that, and I have it written down. That's back on my notes on God, what's his
Vaguely
name?
familiar.
On Enwick.
Oh.
And she like reaches up and puts a hand on your face, and he's like, I wasn't sure. That's why I had left the gala.
That's your
But now I am.
I knew I fucking hated that guy, and now I have more reason to hate that guy.
It's
the guy?
Tildwyn is freaking Enwick.
No! All of the baddies were at the party! I hate it here! This country sucks balls! Fuck this country! I'm glad we're being told to leave! Oh, fuck this country so
Oh, no,
hard!
no,
yes.
no, now I gotta come back. I see, and from the beginning, I'm like, if we gotta kill somebody, we're killing Tildwyn. Like, that's the guy. I don't know why, but I'm like, that's the guy I want to kill more than anybody else in the room.
Just an innate sense.
Like, yeah, since the first day I met him, I'm like, there's something about that guy. That's awesome. And it turns out I am justified.
Whoa! Whoa! I have whiplash. Whoa!
You just see me just put my hand on my tattoo and be like, this entire party was full of dipshits and fuckwits and the people that we are supposed to get rid of.
No, I know.
Tildwyn is the big bad for Stoic.
Yeah.
Huh?
And that's where we'll take a break.
Fuck this country! Fuck its people!
So good.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take the break to fix some stuff anyway. Some issues.
Okay.
Good timing.
Great, you get to watch my reaction to just losing my shit.
Pretty much.
I
Just
figured it out when you were starting talking about, like, you had that interaction, like, Tildwyn is...
I did find the note. I have it right here. He's in love with art and with Ash and Roses. Like, I did write that on him, but like Enwick is like way back in my notes of like.
Yeah.
So when I learn stuff, I go way back and
Yeah.
so it's not all over the place.
I hate
I try
this
to catch
country.
it as much as I can
hate this
about that
country
conversation
so
that you
much.
had with
I
her,
hate
that she's
everything
looking
about
for
it.
him
It's so
here.
stupid. Fuck this
Dude,
country.
so
Is that the dude that wrecked your place?
Yeah.
That's
so
the one that did it.
my temple was wrecked and killed like
By him or like a bunch of them?
group of vampires. But he's the guy that created those vampires. Just like he's the
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
I'm pretty sure you even saw him in a vision in
Yeah.
the Celestarium.
So yeah, but like I didn't put the dots together that Tildwyn is that guy. I've just had an innate hatred of Tildwyn because ever since I saw him with the Ruby Judge, and then when freaking Valen disappeared and like all that, like I hate Tildwyn, and now I have double the reason to hate Tildwyn because that's the guy that me and her have been looking for the entire time. That's why I've been riding with her and communicating. Like we have a secret dude that we're going after. Like I was ready to leave the group and go travel with her.
Okay.
Interest knew he went west,
Yeah.
but there was no reports of strange atrocities per se that you know of.
And we'd heard about a vampire in the area, like because we brought that up to Adris's group, and like,
Whoa.
yeah. Dun dun dun.
All right, so we will come back in about 10 minutes or so, and maybe slightly longer depending on the problems we have to work out with. And we will be back. See you in a minute. All right, welcome back. So, as you guys have hopped into the carriage, as Anthras points this out about the rose, that's where we're picking things back
Hey,
up.
we're not dead.
We're not dead yet.
So you're telling me that Tildwin, the man that I desperately want to kill, is really Enwick? The vampire that I really want to kill?
Yes.
Some strange reason that actually makes me a little happy.
Well, I'm sorry. I left you when you needed me. And I couldn't tell you because you had a mission to do.
It's fine. It's honestly best that you didn't, because I don't think we would have succeeded if you had told me.
Step forward and step back and all.
But this isn't over. I know they're escorting us out, but like, we're never gonna make it to the gate. Hoping you didn't happen to grab our stuff, did you?
I did. They put it in underneath the carriage with everything else.
Okay. Well, that'll be step one, is figuring out how to get access to that.
It was quite the hustle getting back to the inn on such short notice, by the way.
I could imagine.
I'm glad I don't sweat much anymore.
Yeah, we were a little pressed for time. This all came due because of Araziah, thank you. Because of Araziah.
He showed up.
He did, and actually, we had a meeting with him.
Didn't go
Was
great.
this the success? No.
We could count it as a success. We aren't dead.
Yeah.
Or a scary melting man by a fire.
I mean, I've heard he's powerful.
He is Korandian giant skeleton powerful.
But that was Lord Greenwood.
Yep. But
Yeah.
Lord Greenwood had friends. Twins. And he had fire.
And those twins were created by him. The Rixa twins were minions of him.
He's the one who traded with Lord Greenwood.
Yes.
He's the one with the ability to make anew. He has a lot of smart ideas about magic.
And he's the one making monarchs.
Uh-huh. So we discovered that after asking him for a later meeting. We only continued to the meeting because, well, we kind of wanted to take his measure, and we didn't really know where it would go.
Suffice to say, he knew we were bullshitting. We knew he was bullshitting. Well, he was telling us the truth, but in a bullshitty way. Because
He basically wanted us to jump up and shout that we're here to overthrow your country and take you down. And when we refused, he threw us out of the country, basically.
At this, she's kind of like taking this in.
Yeah.
Kiri says, like kind of her eyes on the floor, she says, that might be my fault. I tried to help you, but you know it can go badly with luck.
I'm just gonna grab her hand. Luck is. Luck is. And we certainly weren't helping ourselves in the process. So, it was a joint effort, I fear.
She just kind of shrugs and still just looks at the floor.
Honestly, that meeting wasn't going to go anywhere productive. We knew that going in.
No, and perhaps I should not have been so hasty to introduce myself with my full name and title before actually getting any sort of insight on that person. Because it wasn't until I walked away that I realized who he was.
Well, I think
Enter says, oh, it's almost certain that he suspected you. That if you had thwarted those plans, if he is still involved or was involved with what Lord Greenwell was doing, then
I'm pretty sure he knew who we were before you ever walked up to him.
Sure, but I didn't have to make it quite so easy.
It's fun. Because now we know where the lines are, and we know who we're up against, and honestly, we're in a better place than we were before we entered that gala. I mean, I know we're in whatever, but we were on the run in this country before we ever went to the gala, so...
Sure, but we've kicked a wasp's nest, and now that I'm aware of who we're up against, I am scared for our friends who are trying to fight against this government, because they are just not fighting against political differences, they are against two powerful people. And they were able to help get a conference between Adris and General Cray, which...
that would be the success you talked about.
Yes. But of course that means that they are going to have to be very careful in their conversation. Even more so now.
Well, Adressa did say that Adris is a very shrewd man. I'm sure he can handle it.
I don't doubt that he can handle the conversation. I fear that there is not enough power on their side to go up against two men like our vampire and our wizard.
So what are you going to do?
Well, first I'd like to not be in this box unarmed.
We'll stop somewhere. Honestly, I'd rather be far enough away from town to where if they do have means to call back up, we're going to be long gone before they show up. So for right now, we just need to relax. Enjoy the carriage. Honestly, when's the last time we traveled this well? Normally we're walking or on horseback. This is quite nice, actually. There's no rain. There's no wind. We don't have to drive or keep watch. We just get a nice carriage ride until we're far enough away to leave them. And
then what?
well, then we're going to try and circle back around and find Adris.
No, I mean, how do we deal with this situation? You plan on fighting 30 men?
I don't think we're going to be able to fight our way out of this, not without causing major problems. I'm holding onto the tattoo to kind of like have like an open doorway conversation building.
Yeah, I'm holding mine too.
But do either of you have Anything
I'm relaying this to you.
Thank you.
that you think could possibly be advantageous to be able to at least get to our bags right now or soon in this
The bags
foreseeable
under
future?
Enthrasis?
Yes. Does your friend have any means to be able to get to those unencumbered?
Carriage is made of. What are they made of?
Wood. Like thick, well-built wood. But, well, I mean, I am a lady of status. When we stop to camp, I will have certain needs in my things. So, I might be able to gain access.
We're going to
I
have
don't
to.
know how well they will receive carrying weaponry, but
We'll have to be very shrewd about the where and how we slowly start to reacquire our shit.
I don't necessarily have any ideas right now. Because I don't plan to start a fight anytime soon.
I'm very light of foot when I am not observed.
Do you have
I could be very invisible.
You can already go invisible?
I can.
Okay.
Or make someone else go invisible. Either way.
But you can't cast it on yourself and one other person?
No, just one person.
I'm trying to count. I know fly is 3.
Yeah, I mean, I can magically aid you guys.
And, I mean, pass without trace isn't going to do much.
I got stone shape, but that's not going to help with this carriage.
Let's see.
So I can cast invisibility on 4 people. So myself and 3 others. We're up to an hour.
I know this is early in the game as far as how long we think we might have on this trip, but I want to try to focus enough to where I can try to keep track of time.
okay. Make an intelligence check.
And do I see the mountains yet?
It is dark at the moment still, so
Fair.
you're still in the, like late at night, so you can't see too much.
No.
Probably 7.
7? Okay.
Or I would like to. No, that's fine.
Okay. It's probably gonna be tough.
Yeah.
You know.
Do we know when we will be making camp?
Whenever they decide. It'll be fine.
Yep. For now, we just ride.
I am not a very patient person.
Can I message you separately?
Mm.
You're not a hedonist either.
You've just not had the pleasure of finding that out yet.
I have thoughts.
Empress, I did my best. I tried to be confident, to speak in full voice. I walked with my head held up high as we were escorted out. Did my best to save face.
Well, then you succeeded. That's what matters.
I just wish I were as charming as you.
Well, who is? I mean, charm is just one of many weapons, and it seems like you wielded it quite skillfully.
I still have a ways to go, I think.
There are things you can do I cannot as well.
What does that grow horns?
Well, they do look quite intimidating.
Thank you.
I do like them, but they are, no, you have seen me fight, even back in Corandia. Though I have been practicing and I have grown, I think you have probably outpaced me.
And that's all I have is my blade.
Well,
Stoic, I am proud of you.
For what?
Keeping your shit together.
It wasn't easy.
I know. Believe me, I was in that room too.
I was getting pretty close there at the end,
Yeah.
actually.
So was I.
You hear a voice. Yeah, he was.
But I'm just glad that I didn't know about Tildwin, because I would not have been able to contain myself.
I know. And I know that I am always your enabler in those regards. I don't know if I would have stopped you.
No,
that's why I didn't say anything.
I appreciate it.
I just fear for the princess. She is now a woman who understands and is beginning to see things that she's either been blind or willfully avoiding. And she is in a den of evil. With an awareness of what is evil around her. And that there's so much more dangerous than being dumb to it. I miss my ignorance sometimes.
Not to mention a girl that, if you'll forgive me, strikes me as quite naive and not the sharpest sword in the sheath, if you will. And she is wrestling with many things, and now in the presence of someone who is not only naturally charismatic, but probably magically so. The vampires are known to be charismatic, with more than just nature.
Do tell.
This is a very small carriage. Can we?
Sorry.
Kiri and I can only do so much to keep ourselves distracted.
She just kind of winks at you.
I just meant that it was kind of evident, is all.
Do tell.
Well, we've got a nice ride to determine our exit strategy, because it's probably going to take place at night. We'll be a day's ride away from the capital. I have thoughts. I have a plan formulating, but we'll have to wait till we get to wherever we camp and kind of view our surroundings.
I just kind of grabbed Kiri's hand again. I wish we could have figured out more about where Valen was.
Well, we're gonna have to find the Ruby Judge for that one.
And, she's still kind of eyes glued to the floor, and Enthris reaches across the carriage and, takes her chin and, with just a slight bit of force, forces it up. And he's like, wrestle with your guilt, you'll have to, but do so with your head up.
Just gonna squeeze Kiri's hand because I'm trying to keep my head up too.
And, she kind of glances at you and nods at Enthris. And
Counting. Do math.
Would I know how many days ride it is to, what was it, Daladan, and what was the other one?
Holding is south.
you don't know Daladan.
Okay.
We do know Olden though.
You do know Olden.
Well, I wasn't sure if I would know Daladan from being around a little bit longer. Can we do a history check?
This would be really just intelligence, I think.
Okay. Man, I'm really missing my little diadem thing. Yeah, 5.
Yeah, I mean, you know it's somewhere between there and the World Thorns, but you're not sure where.
Okay.
Alright, so they continue traveling.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you want to accomplish while you're going?
Might as well get some rest.
I just imagine it being a quiet ride with us in there.
The creepy, the creepy servant dude.
It's like, hey, are you okay? It's like very quietly.
You say that?
Yeah, and like.
Is there? Wait, who's in here?
The servant guy.
Yeah.
You two, Inspector.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like,
Can you just like evaporate or something? Well, before you do that, when it's quiet, I want to cast Read Thoughts on Sarek.
okay.
Okay.
What was the save on that again?
17 wisdom.
17 wisdom. Yeah. Use your dice against you. Actually, I have no idea. No, that's not going to work. That's a whole 6.
Oh no!
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not evil. I just want to know what you're thinking. I think she's just she's kind of nervous. And, like, you literally never
Show emotion.
show it.
Yeah.
Or, like, I don't know.
So surface thoughts, right?
Yeah.
Surface thoughts. I think you actually probably do feel a little bit of nervousness. Like, it's one of those things like, it's there, but it's like, okay, we gotta breathe through it, just calm down. And we got a job to do, we got something, like, I've got people to protect, I need to get everybody to the next point. Like, there's that whole kind of mantra going on. Of, like, he's taking responsibility for making sure everybody's safe. It's kind of what's on the surface.
I think, again, she feels a little nervous, a little back against the wall. And I think when she feels that way, she folds into herself and, like, her old self. And I know, and Zenoa knows this too, that you would tell me this anyways, but she's gonna cast suggestion on you to, like, magically force it out of you.
Okay.
And she just says, tell me that you are gonna keep me safe.
I'll look over to you. I'll keep you safe. I have no inclination that happened, do I?
I don't think so.
I love that your suggestion was, tell me I'm okay.
Yeah.
That is.
I mean, it feels like a very Zenoa, like an old Zenoa thing.
Oh,
to do.
it's just oof.
Yeah.
What? No, it hurts my heart.
Oh,
It
yeah.
hurts my heart.
Oh, yeah.
We're just considering
I
like
have
the
to
stuff
look
with
up
Valen
what
and all that.
actually
Like,
suggestion is, because I don't have...
I'm looking, but you can
Okay.
continue.
Are you okay?
keeping it together.
Why are you freaking out now?
Because we are in a very tight spot, and I don't know what to do.
You didn't say a word in there.
A lot of that was over my head. Like, I kind of felt stupid being in there.
What's your read on that guy?
Oh, he's an ass. Very cold. No emotion at all. It's very facts. It's the scariest kind of person you can come up against. Because they're detached from reality, detached from emotion, detached from relationship.
You know, if we fight our way out of this, which I'm starting to think that's the only way that this is going to happen,
I think so too.
he's coming straight for us.
Yeah, more than likely. But
I'm not ready for that.
I don't think any of us are.
Mm-mm. No, I'm not ready for it. I'd love to sit here and tell you I am.
Which makes me just want to leave.
What, Lirindil altogether?
Instead of fighting our way out of this predicament.
I think that's a fair feeling to have. As much as I'd want to run away, I want to just disappear and not have to deal with that. I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I did.
Why?
Because I, for one, made a promise to Adris and really the rebellion that I was going to be here, that I would help them. I'd see it through to the end, whether my end or theirs, or the Crown's. And I want to see that through. Whatever way that ends. I'm not scared of death. It's a transition. I'm not looking forward to it by any stretch. But
Sometimes you have me fooled. That you're not looking forward to it.
yeah. I mean, you got me there. It's,
He kept asking why in there. Why the Folly did what they did in Carandia. Why any of this. I don't know who you are. And neither do you. I'm just having a hard time figuring out why.
why I'm here.
No, why I'm here. I mean, the only reason I can think of is because I'm with my friends. I don't know if that's a good enough reason, especially when I know that I can't fight this. I'm not ready for what's coming if we...
I mean, you know them best. Are they going to stay and fight?
Yeah.
Then does that mean you're going to stay and fight, or does that mean you'd want to... Are you going to run away from them as well?
You're all just so stubborn.
Yeah. I mean, those are facts.
And for what reason? I don't... You know, maybe I get you better than them on this. You know people here. Have connections to the people here, the rebellion here, even though you're not from here.
Loose connections, but yeah.
Like you know.
Okay, now we've got a new. Last time we had a good laugh. That was good. I mean, clearly.
I'm sorry.
For what?
Just... I don't want you thinking that I'm... No, actually, you're allowed to think I'm a bad person.
That has never once crossed my mind. Not even once. You know, you say you don't get me, you don't understand why I do what I do. I put on the show. I've become the one that draws people's attention because it protects those around me. If they're focused on me, then everybody else gets to do what they need to do. Stupid or not. So there's a little bit of flash, a little bit of show, which, I mean, it's all show. I mean, I'm good. I'm good. But I'm not perfect. I'm not going to do something right every time.
I
It's
think
just
I had a hard time trusting that you even cared about us, though. So if you don't care about us, why protect us? You don't know us. I'm sorry, I'm reeling right now.
it's
And the question why is just in my head because I very much, and this I guess is what makes me a bad person. I'd split from this, all of this, your rebellion,
mhm.
to make sure we are okay. It makes me a coward too.
Makes you a person. Fear is pretty common. And self-preservation, that's a pretty standard operating mode for most everyone. And judging about like what you kind of grew up with, yeah, that makes sense.
You know, in its own way, I do understand your duty to Idris or the rebellion, whichever one you want to say. But I'm on the other side of that duty. I let go of all of that.
Mhm.
And so being dutiful again makes me scared.
Because somebody's going to take advantage of it. They're not going to have your best interest at heart. They're going to use you for something to their own end.
Or just because I'm selfish and I want that freedom. And I feel like being dutiful again takes it away or something. That feels wrong. I don't know.
I don't think that's wrong, considering what duty has done to you in the past. Like you've told us, I guess you've told us everything, or most things, enough to know that you were abused, that you were taken advantage of. You had someone that you trusted that told you that this is something that we do. This is a duty of our station or whatever. And I mean, why wouldn't you trust him? And then that was betrayed. So you wanting to run away makes sense. You don't want to go through that again. You don't want to go through that pain, that hurt.
Maybe I'm just pissed that the one night I felt special or something ended up with this.
Oh, we're still in our stuff, aren't
Yeah.
we? Like our nice stuff, yeah.
Mhm.
Well, you danced really well tonight. In
I
that
did,
dress.
didn't
Mm-hmm. You look really pretty in that dress.
Thanks.
So, we've got a little bit of time before we really have to deal with whatever's going to happen. So, still feel special.
Yeah. Spectre, you alright?
You're going to keep all this secret, right?
I will do whatever my mistress requires.
Fantastic.
Spectre, what's your favorite color?
Whatever my mistress's favorite color is.
Black?
Oh yeah, that was one of the two options. Okay. You glad to be here?
I am here to serve.
Alright. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done in general.
Before we get to camp, I would like to slowly and gently try to open the door of the carriage. I don't want to swing it open. I just want to test it to see if it's locked from the outside.
Okay. You go to open it, and it opens.
Okay. Gently slow the back, just a little test. And then I'm gonna hit it on my tattoo. So Noah, do you have any illusionary magic?
It's really my thing.
Minor illusion.
Hearing?
Do you?
Illusion? No, that's not my forte.
And Thris, would you have access to any illusory magic?
You could try asking Spectre.
Does
I'll
Spectre
ask
have?
him. I'll ask him. Hey, Spectre. They want to know if you use illusion magic.
Give me a second.
See what if I have stuff, and if it's not prepared.
Literally, the only thing I could do was cast darkness.
Now's your time. This is I got a plan for it, and that's perfect.
Okay, I can only cast darkness once a day.
He says, "What do you require?"
And I'll pass
Yeah,
it to you.
yeah,
Go on.
yeah.
Ask him if he can make it look like we're running from the wagons.
Can you make it look like we're running from the wagons?
Give me a second. I'm trying to.
It depends on if it's minor or major. Major is like a 5 foot. You could fit 4 people in a 5 foot by 5 foot cube, all running together.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
Well, minor illusion wouldn't do it. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's-
no.
Yeah, I think it's major.
It's gonna be major. Yeah, that's a big one. Oof.
That's why I wanted to see if he had it.
Uh-huh.
There's other ways to do it, but I got a really good one if we can do that. Because my thought was, I will cast Wall of Light. It'll cover all 40 people. Whoever fails instantly goes blind, right? Blind for a minute. Whoever doesn't, they're still going to be shocked and not be able to see.
Mm-hmm.
After I cast that, I'm going to drop it and cast invisibility on 4 of us. You cast invisibility on yourself. We actually get out of the wagon and hide under the wagons, and we make an illusion look like we're running to the field, and then they all follow the illusion, but we actually stay with the wagon and get all of our shit. And then go the other way.
We steal the wagons and no.
Oh, we could, but,
Yeah.
but you see what I'm saying? Like, it's not bad.
Well, we got 7 people.
Yeah, can't make everybody, so like, you know, Blue Boy over there may have to lead them away.
Take one for the team, buddy.
This isn't necessarily part of your plan, but I do have a way tomorrow, which I don't know.
But that's fine.
How long we're gonna no, not illusion. This is not part of your plan.
Okay.
I have a way of helping us locate Olden potentially, so that we know like how far we are.
Oh, okay.
Just FYI.
Yeah, just immediate thing, like instead of fighting, if we get them to follow.
Yeah, I didn't plan on fighting. I have no interest in being a
normally
fighter.
I'm down for fighting, but I'm like, I think this would be good. Like, because a few of them might stay with the wagons, and
Yeah.
if they do, we can not once the guys on horseback are far enough out, we can take out the guys at the wagons, because there'll be like 3 or 4 left, and then we'll have all of our shit and a few horses, and we can.
Yeah. So, he says, if my mistress requires it, I am capable of conveying messages via illusion through an illusory mouth. I can create illusory writing. I can hypnotize via illusion to a degree. I can change the appearance and perception of a terrain for a large area, and I can do other illusions depending on what the need is. But if you need me to, the illusion you speak of would only work to 120 feet.
So you could make it look like we're running away, even if we're all close together, but only up to 120 feet.
Yes.
For how long?
10 minutes. If I can maintain concentration. But it would not hide you.
No, I can hide us with your mistress's permission. If you were to run away and make it look like we're all running with you, you could lead all of the guards after you.
If she wishes me to do this.
Do you think if that were to happen, you would be able to lose the guards on your own after you led them away?
It is possible.
I know you were reading. I don't know if you heard our plans, because I was going to relay them to...
No, I was reading.
Okay.
Which, by the way, the whole time, since you're conveying this, like through him,
Yeah.
he is just staring at you, like dead-faced, unblinking stare, and replying in this sort of deadpan voice. The whole time.
Really uncomfortable.
Did you hear that, Spectre? You're making Sarah uncomfortable.
Yeah,
I apologize.
all is forgiven.
Okay.
I just kind of like do this deep exhale. Okay.
So, I will... Anthras. I have a thought of how we may be able to escape, but it would depend a lot on Spectre. And I'm holding my tattoo this whole time, so you can do it. But I would need him to be a decoy. And I don't know how you feel about that.
Well, he's here to be useful.
Do you think he would be, if he led them away, he would be capable of escaping them on his own?
He is quite capable, but 30 people is a lot, so it depends. It's... He would be able to escape. The question is whether he would do so in a way that would not attract notice and therefore a lot of further attention to the area.
Understood. So my thought is, when we get far enough away, hopefully, once it starts getting a little dark, depending on when they decide to make camp, so right here I can cast darkness. or I could cast Wall of Light, which will distract and temporarily blind some of them, if not all of them. And then if Spectre were to, after I cast that spell, I would immediately drop it because it was for shock value. And once I do, I would cast invisibility on 4 of us. Sarek is able to make himself invisible. And then we have Spectre make it look, he can run with his illusion and make it look like we're all running away from the wagon towards the woods, but in fact, we will all hide here and stay with the wagons. And so when he leads the guards away, we can then get into our equipment, grab our equipment, and either fight the guards that are left, or we could run away invisibly, or fight the guards that are left and take horses and go.
What would we be doing with Zenoa? You, Asura, Kiri, and Enthras. That's 4.
I know. I thought about it. I put a double check something. One of us might have to hide and not go invisible, but depends on if my disguised self is concentration. Because I would make 4 people, not myself included, invisible, and I would change my appearance to look like one of the guards.
Hold on. I zoned out because Spectre was staring at me. Order of operations. What's the first spell being cast?
Wall of Light.
Okay. As a player, do you need a focus to cast that?
I have my
Do you
focus.
have it with you?
I have my
Okay.
focus. Yes.
Just making sure.
I snuck in my focus. I'm good. I don't have my book.
Okay.
I have
didn't know
my
if you
focus.
had like a staff or something.
No. He made a comment, or dude made a comment on it in the room.
Okay, I just want to make sure that's
Yeah,
what
you
yours
wear the
was. Okay.
You
Yeah.
guys were allowed to, you were persuaded
Yeah.
them to keep
So-
symbols.
I think we could do this escape plan from the camp. But if we're on the road, I don't know for sure, but I have a feeling like the horses were all in a giant line.
You have seen, you have seen like others
Flanking.
kind of riding, beside it at various times, and
Sure.
kind of changing formations and things like that. In a way you can't really figure out for
Okay.
fully.
Not gonna get all of them.
But and that's fine, because it's just a distraction thing. But it's 50-50 on if they're going to go blind or not when I cast it. And we
Will
don't
that
want...
also include us?
No.
You know we have.
Yes, it would.
You know we have.
Catch all 30 people.
Well, it's up to 60 feet, so it depends on how close they are.
Well, if you're trying to catch all of them, that includes us. We're in the middle of it.
We are.
You know we have allies that are
We can wait for the allies,
open
but
to get here.
they asked if we can get ourselves out. I'm just throwing out a plan. So, because if
I don't know
our
if the way he
allies-
says things are in matters of importance, but that was his last thing that he said.
I'm just saying, if we can wait for him, but then we don't know when we're getting rescued, and I don't like depending on other people. There, I said it.
Listen, every fiber of my body right now is saying, bite everyone, scratch their eyes,
Yes.
and run.
Yes.
I understand keenly what this feeling is right now. There is a feral part of my soul that just wants to Tasmanian devil my way out of this. But I have found that I am a small, weak creature, and I die sometimes. Not in the cool way, look at Endress, but in the shitty way, where I see shit.
And I can attest that biting your way out of things is not always the best solution.
Sometimes it sounds very fun.
So wait, so is your vote to wait for reinforcements?
I mean, your plan isn't your best.
It's fun as hell, though. It's stupid as shit and very fully.
It is very folly, but like,
Let's butch and
I would
Sundance
rather. I
Sundance
think
kid
I
this
would
thing,
have
man.
voted to die in the castle than out here just in a wagon. Yeah.
that's fair.
Listen, I am not against it.
I saw
but there
excitement
is
in Sarek's eyes when I was explaining the plan. He's like, wait, we're gonna hide and stay in the carts. I'm like, yes.
There's a lot of variables in that particular plan, and the first one that goes wrong, there's no secondary. It's then we're fighting 30 people.
Okay.
Yep, I'm voting.
Plus,
That we just ride
Empress
this out.
did make a very good point. She is a very important lady, and she needs access to her bags.
Okay.
Perhaps we can first campment get a gauge of things and how they want us to sleep at night and what their protocols are for watching us, because some of them are also going to have to sleep and their horses are going to have to rest as well, and in that time we get a very good gauge of their operating procedures.
That's fine.
And then if our operating procedures look lax enough that your plan is a viable option, then we can absolutely do all the weird kooky shit that you want to do.
I'm saying, if it looks like we need to like go ape shit, just let me know.
It is currently on the list of potential options.
That's all I ask.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys lose it, I got your back. But
Okay.
30 does seem, like a big number.
I mean, we did take down an
Cody
entire
turned
town.
30. It just feels like a big number lately.
I was
30 is nothing.
gonna make Spectre lead them all away.
Exactly.
Because of course, if they think we all ran, then all of them. will
Sure, but
follow.
all of them are going to have to be dumb enough to go, oh, look at that. All of them are running.
They were dumb enough to put us in a box.
Oh, I don't know
But they
how
were
that
smart
works.
enough to not put our bags in the box.
All right, we'll hold off. I'm just saying.
It is not
Down-
off
down
the
there.
table. It is just currently sitting on the side of the table near the edge where a cat might get frisky and push it off.
Okay. Fair enough.
How many would you be comfortable fighting?
40. But that's not
Maybe
a
I asked the
consensus.
wrong person.
So who's got the death wish again? I'm confused.
I mean, am I gauging these wrong? How strong are these guys?
They're
Are these like?
military.
Are they
Get a good
elite?
look at 'em.
Are they
Do a
elite?
perception check for me.
They look like
This
they're
is
level
gonna
20.
Oh no. Oh, that's persuasion. I don't have perception. -1, so that's 11.
Okay. You don't know, like, count-wise, but you have seen a mix of, like, the soldiers you've seen since you got here in Lirindil, as well as some of the more elite version that you've seen around the castle.
So it's a mix.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
We also don't know if anybody is those high-level magic casters.
Well, I told him I was keeping an eye out for red wizards. He said there's no red wizards.
Sure, but the red
Or
wizard
war-
isn't the only
war
type.
wizards or
You
whatever.
guys
I
have
also said
also-
your vision is extremely limited.
Yeah.
at the
You've
moment.
also made me cast like 4 messages today, so maybe wait till tomorrow.
Don't
when
say
I-
me. No. I did not
you
make you
can't
cast.
see my face. I'm talking to everyone right now.
Yes, I did.
That
But also,
comment was meant for you.
and I take full responsibility for it. But if we didn't, then we would have been in so much
No,
more
I'm
trouble.
not saying that that's a bad thing. I'm just saying tomorrow might be a better fight for me.
Yeah.
At least.
I'm not
least.
disagreeing. I'm fine with it being tomorrow.
Especially with the number being 30.
All right.
Alright.
It's a good number.
It's a great
All right. That's fine.
I'm just going to adjust myself in my sitting position in a way that, like, Kiri can, like, place her head on my shoulder or something. Like, because I'm like, we're just gonna have to be here.
Do you need to speak
What?
to other people?
Oh. We don't do Idris.
I talked to him already. Everyone else
Yeah,
is in the
we've got
wagons.
Adris. I mean, Anthos is right there.
I don't know, sir. Can you think of anyone?
No.
Is there any? I think I'm messaging you. 'Cause I think Spectre could message someone that he knows, I guess, or anyone.
Is there anybody we
I
should
can
still
speak to one familiar to me
Okay.
through dreams.
Oh.
Oh. I know that spell. That spell is awesome.
Is there, Enders, is there anyone that we should still make contact with that we have not yet?
Well, I mean, everyone who I was traveling with is with us here. If you've already told your rebel friends,
I'm so sorry, I had just like a Star Wars flashback. You like talk to your rebel friends. I don't know why. I mean, shit. Want to dream walk through Valen's dreams?
I mean, if
I
you
don't
can.
think. I don't think he. Does he know?
I don't know.
Well, it depends on what's in continuity and what's not. I mean, really.
That is true.
Well,
What's the
depends.
lore?
Yeah, because Spectre wasn't with her back in.
But Valen was one of the ones
Was
that
with-
fought
it's
against
in the-
Spectre, so-
Well, yeah, I know that, but I was trying to think in.
Yeah.
He wasn't there around the Greenwood thing.
well, and you don't know,
Mhm.
out of character. Well, so you guys would have no reason to know anything about that because of Enthras's wish
Yeah.
Yep.
at the end. So,
I'm just making a joke because I'm feeling a type of way right now. That's
That
if-
you
if it-
never pass up a long distance call.
Exactly. I mean, whether it's true or not, like I don't know if he can.
Let's
I'm
message
just
the
like,
Hurricane Sisters.
Yeah, like
You know. But I do make the joke like, why don't we just dream walk through Valen's dreams?
Yeah, got no one.
Yeah, I think we're okay. So we're just gonna scope out for the night, figure out,
Yep.
pick
Get some
up
rest.
patterns, routines. Okay. See how they treat us. See how scared they are of us. Because they seem pretty demanding, but they also don't seem to be too worried about us, which is weird. Because we're not cuffed, we're not restrained.
Well, there's 40 guys around us, so
Yeah, but
That's-
even so, like,
either that really says something about their skill level.
Or their ignorance.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or the fact that we are just being asked to leave the country. We are not enemies of the country.
But someone ordered 30 men on us.
Oh, yeah.
And that someone is a very powerful wizard. Who knows at least two of us know who he is, or if not directly, we know that there is something odd about him.
at this point, you look out and you can see, just kind of going like, oh, the sun's starting to rise. And you look and you can see out of the left window, like the like kind of bluish, starting to come orange colors speaking up over mountains in the
We're heading
distance.
south.
Okay, then we can confirm that southward is the direction we're heading, which can confirm that Olden would be our closest allied stop.
We're just in for a ride until
I
they
guess
stop.
We're just enjoying the ride.
I mean, we all need to get some sleep.
I can message Adris and just let him confirm that it is south before we go to sleep.
That's not bad.
confirm and then confirm that we are confirm our retinue of a lot of people, so
how long have we been riding?
our exit strategy may be highly limited. Also, we don't have access to our goods right
Roll an
now.
intelligence check.
For what?
Zenoa, you're better at keeping time. How long have we been riding?
Oh, I already rolled my check for that. It was terrible. It was a 7. I already
fuck.
tried.
Never mind. I thought you were keeping track. All right, fine.
No, well, I had a spell called Find a Path, but I realized I have to have something from the place. I don't think, unless you have anything from Olden, I don't.
2.
It's morning.
Good
Barely,
morning.
barely sure about
remind me
that.
of that.
Um,
well, not what
that
you
I'm
were
on
in the middle of the
We
night.
just need to take something from every
Long-
place that we go.
Yeah, just pick up like a pebble.
Just remind me.
Okay.
Longer than an hour, shorter than a day.
apple,
Yeah.
a piece of dirt, some dust.
Yeah. Go like full Saving Private Ryan and have like my
Mhm.
cups of dirt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I would like to open the door and yell at one of the guards.
Oh.
Are we going to be making camp anytime soon?
You see, as you do, you see one of the guards is riding just kind of toward the back, like right beside the back wheel, basically.
Yeah.
And he has a spear, and he is like, "Hey,
What's it?
keep the door closed."
That's fine.
And like points it at you.
Just wondering if we're going to be stopping. We're getting kind of hungry in here.
Keep the door closed.
Fine. Oh, there's ladies in here. And I shut the door.
He says, "We'll stop when we stop."
Is there a window?
Yeah, there's one on each side of the carriage. Yeah.
Can I open it?
No, it's like
It's not glass. It's like the lattice.
yeah.
Okay,
It's
so
not,
he can
not very
hear-
big.
Okay.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So he can hear me.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, do you have any food? We were kind of taken abruptly, and we have ladies in here, and they're hungry, and they're tired, and they're in formal wear, which I don't know if you've ever worn women's formal wear. It's not comfortable. This is no way. to
Sarah
treat-
sees the no smile.
So we just learned a lot about Stoic in like a matter of seconds.
Spectre smiles at that. I'd like to think.
We'll stop at some point.
Thank you. They're you know. I understand you're doing your duty, but there's no need to be cruel. Like, food and bathroom breaks and tires, I don't think unreasonable. That's all I ask.
He doesn't reply.
Okay.
Kind of turn it up a little, like Chip's sword long.
I don't want them to know I can transform yet. But, I mean, shit, we've been riding at least for a couple hours. Like, no
Yeah.
food, no bathroom, no.
After a party with alcohol.
You know what I mean? I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
If you need to take a piss, we can just turn our heads.
this is a very small wagon.
I'll cast darkness. You can stick your dick in the door.
He told me not to open the door. Oh,
Sure,
it's latticed. It's latticed.
He'll suddenly wonder why it's raining.
Take that visual.
I hate everything about that because I just now realized what I was like, what you guys were talking about. I was like, this is horrific. I hate this. This is horrible.
I would be that guy.
Yeah, you would. Oh man.
You're lucky I don't have any weapons on me right now. I'm about to. Oh, who was the woman who threw that guy's in the ditch, and then he became a porn star?
Right
Right about it. Yeah.
That's not where. Sorry, I'm not on the street. Okay.
Thoroughly off track.
I'm
and-
sorry. I'm so sorry. My brain went.
I have to cut you off there.
I said I'm trying to keep it short.
So, you guys travel. You guys continue traveling like that for a while, and watching the sun rise and continue rising up over the mountains well into the morning. Making good time. Like it's a pretty good pace they're moving at.
Hey, are we gonna try to get a little bit of sleep so we're not going into like exhaustion territory?
I've been trying to keep Kiri to be able to get as much sleep as possible.
Yeah. I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you could probably count this as a short rest if
Sure.
you need it or anything like that.
Well, she might. I haven't done anything.
Yeah, me neither.
Not on a short rest.
You need a long rest.
But eventually, there is some shouting, not like alarm shouting, but like some shouts here and there, and then you see them pull off a little bit, and several of them pull up next to the carriage, each carriage, and they open the door and say, "All right, short break."
Thank you.
Thank you.
Would we be able to change our clothes?
Roll a persuasion check.
It's gonna be a 20. Persuasion is 21.
Rogue's broken.
I just can't roll below a 10.
I know. That's why I said you
Okay, level 11 warlock.
Yes.
Thank you, I appreciate that very much. We will need to get access to our bags to grab our clothes.
All right.
Thank you. And I'm gonna go to the bags. And I'm gonna grab clothing, like start pulling a bunch of clothes out and like kind of hollering at the friends to like, is this what you want? Is this what you want? And in doing so, I would like to sleight of hand start grabbing my daggers out of the bag of holding.
Okay. Roll a sleight of hand.
Grab my notebook.
Rolling that one.
Oh no!
So like divine intervention, like when do we
I don't
use
know,
that?
but I rolled in that one.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, it's a little late now. So as you do that, one of the guards, like the first dagger, you try to do that. One of the guards, like, "Hey, clothes only."
Of course. My apologies. And I'm going to immediately, like very showy, put it right back where I found it, and then take out another piece of clothing.
Yeah. And with that, there's a couple more watching you very
Yeah.
closely.
Yeah.
Now you're being watched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep grabbing clothes until everyone has what they have, and then I'll fold up what people aren't using. I am going to grab I'm grabbing cloaks and like other things. So I am grabbing some magical items, but that are clothing-based magical items.
Yeah, because I would love my cape.
Yeah, so like I'm grabbing like cloaks and things like that, and like
And
here's
my
here's your
belt.
cloak, here's your belt, like, and doing it in a way that it's like here's your clothes, to at least deceive that we're not grabbing magical items.
Yep.
Could that mean that I get my whisper ring?
I'm grabbing everything that looks like it's a wearable thing.
Yeah,
I'm also curious if, just for tiny things that I would, in my head, just pocket on my person would just be the ring and my signal rocks. I don't know how big those are though. The little rocks.
I think they're going to prevent you from everything that's not wearable, basically.
Okay, I'll
So
just keep the ring.
they do seem to let you get rings and stuff, but
Okay.
like
Yeah.
not anything not wearable, basically.
Okay. Yeah, then I grab my boots and all in kind. I grab like
That does not include armor. I would assume they wouldn't let armor go.
Right.
Okay.
I think they're gonna keep the.
I'm already wearing.
yeah, I was like I still have my leather from
You don't
my
have no
dress.
shield.
What's great is that my AC doesn't change. It's just the nat 20 thing is kind of nice.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sir, would it be alright if I had my journal? It's a long carriage ride, and it helps me remain calm to be able to journal my thoughts.
Yeah, he turns and looks to another man who seems to be of a higher rank, and the man just nods.
Yes. And then I will grab my journal out of there.
I kind of wave my decanter of endless water. Like, can I get my water and carry that with me?
All right.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, there's quite a bit of other shit I'd like to get out of there, but I'm good with what we got.
Anthras kind of takes charge and directs like two at a time. Like, you boys can change in the back carriage. Ladies will go two at a time in the other carriage. You two can go first.
Thank you. And I put my Cloak of the Dark Wizard back on.
And you slip the ring to me.
Yeah, and I'm putting my Circlet of Human Perfection back on. Because it's a wearable object. It's just a little headpiece. And I also put my Boots of Elvenkind back on. So that I can hush hush if I need to. At least if you can't see me, obviously. And I put my necklace back on. The one that I've never spoken to anyone about. Yep. I have some objects y'all don't know about.
Like you never show it?
Well, it's a necklace that has like all of our like tchotchke necklaces on it, like the ones that like everyone has made for us over time, like the yeah.
I never got one of those.
But it's all attached to this one particular necklace that y'all have never asked me about. It's for the best.
Okay.
But I have that back on.
I've got my ring of obscuring and my headband of intellect. Everything else is still sitting there.
Yeah. I put on my belt of the shark and my cape.
Belt of the shark.
I think that you're gonna have like the putting on the circlet is gonna activate it.
Oh.
Because taking it off ends it. I think that's how it works.
Okay, well then
As I'm reading
because it's a wearable object. Can I still kind of have it in my like tchotchke things that I could go into the room with? I just will tuck it into my breast, but in my leather.
Or you can just carry it. Like it's a wearable. They're letting you have it. So.
Okay, then I'll just but I'll try to just not have it as like a big obvious thing. I'm just walking around with my little headpiece. I'll just kind of tuck it away.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Because I want to at least attune back to it while we're in the carriage.
I got my ring back. I think it would still be attuned if you didn't actively unattune it.
I didn't actively unattune. I just had it in my bag.
I have a mask.
Or attuned to something else that bumped
Yeah,
it
I didn't
out.
attune to anything else that
Oh,
bumped it
wow.
out. Okay, cool.
I think so. I think it would
Oh.
stay attuned.
Okay,
That's good to
cool.
know. I
was
might
trying-
ease up on the healing.
I was
and
trying to
pick
look.
something
That's
else.
that's all I have, and I can only do it once. But I have a mask cure wounds.
Okay,
in there.
that's good to know.
The headband I've stayed attuned to. I will be attuning to the ring of
Because I
obscuring.
have that, but I also have heal, which is like the big one.
Yeah.
For now, I'd like my staff, but I'm not gonna pull that out.
Look at that charisma score. Missed my cloak. It gave me a little extra to my
Oh,
charisma
yeah.
score.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, if you are more than 100 feet away for more than 24 hours from an item, then you become unattuned.
Gotcha. We were further than
so
100
like
feet.
being across a plane would be definitely,
Yeah.
which would include the bag of holding.
Okay, so then I
By
do
the
have to
way.
reattune to it.
But it has not been 24,
24 hours,
hours.
yeah,
Exactly.
So,
Okay. Either way, it's currently on my person.
yeah. So you're okay.
Okay. Cool. Then I did my best and I at least got everyone's magical wearables
Yes.
back in their
Okay.
possessions.
And
One
you've
step at a
got
time.
Wearables, no weapons as they pause. It's basically seems to be a short break for bathroom, resting the horses, watering, things like that. But it's only going to be about half an hour. So
After getting dressed, because I know we're gonna let the rest of the women into the box to finish, can I do a full monitor inventory of how they manage their break and how many official people do I have? Who do I have that are magic users? Can I do a full inventory of what we've got going on here?
I was actually going to do that, so it kind of help her out with that.
sure. So just do an advantage perception check.
That is going to be a perception. What perception? That is going to be a 27.
Nice.
Okay. So, of the 30 people that you see, 10 of them seem to be more of that elite status. They all wear much nicer plate armor and cloaks, typically with the hood up. You don't know much about these guys, though, so you don't know much about like what they can do or not, or whether any of the elite dress differently than a war mage per se, or if they can still do magic despite not dressing like a war mage, etc. So you don't see anyone who is dressed explicitly like a war mage.
Gotcha. It doesn't look like we have any like outlier people that. It's like 10 elites, 20 foot.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything on the elites that like they have like?
I mean, there's a ranked normal, like a guy dressed like a normal who seems to be of rank, like a sergeant or something like that, and then one of the elites has a guy who you hear them say call captain.
So we basically have one leader of each division of these people.
Yeah, but you're also seeing a lot of deference to the elite guys. It's very clear the captain is in charge, and the crown soldiers are the crown's guard basically are the ones in charge.
I make sure to clock our guy in charge of this operation. And then, is there anything that I can see that they are carrying that would be like, oh shit, we should watch out for that? Like any special types of weapons or anything that would like look.
No, I mean the Crown's Guard they all have swords, and I mean basically they all have swords and spears. I'm sorry. Okay, wait. Mm-hmm. The people soldiers, the normal soldiers that you've been running into, have swords and spears and shields as normal, like what you've seen before.
No, we don't have anybody with bows.
Yeah, a lot of them have bows like strapped to their back or something like that as like an option.
Gotcha. I'm just trying to figure out who I have close versus range.
Yeah. The crown. Sorry.
I just call them elites.
Yeah.
I'm like I have 10 elites.
What did I just call them? The Crown's Guard. Mm-hmm. Is that what they're called? Yeah.
Yes, that's what you called them.
Crown's Guard, People's Army.
Yeah. I'm like, don't know what I created.
It's been a month for you too.
Yeah.
You just made an entire world.
So the Crown's Guard all have crossbows and long swords and shields. They do not use spears. And they all have packs, so you don't know what's in any of their packs, but you assume what a lot of soldiers have. But yeah, I mean, and they, other than that, it's just that they carry themselves with a lot more competence and confidence.
Do I notice any weaknesses in their like system? Like, is there anything that's like obviously like this is the weak link in their chain of people?
The other 20 are less attentive, less alert, less disciplined. The Crown's Guard carry themselves with like supreme discipline. Mm-hmm. They are alert, they are watchful. It was one of them who saw you. They are not just of you guys, they are very skilled at keeping an eye on you guys as well as their surroundings, and it's like habit for them. You can tell that they are just drilled into this, like that this is kind of their whole life is this kind of like just being confident.
Are they all on horses?
The Crown's Guard, all like
like all 30 soldiers.
No, there are 4 on each carriage. So basically there are 2 in the driver's seat and then 2 on the back.
So that's
of each. Yeah, 8, and then the other 22 have horses.
So there's 22 horses. Okay. Well,
Yeah,
besides
plus the
pulling
horses.
carriage, there's
Yeah,
4
like
pulling the
double
carriage.
horse pulling the carriages.
That's what I wanted to know, was how many horses.
26.
Oh, I'm an evil bastard sometimes. Stoic wouldn't do it, but I'm like, just cut the Achilles of all the horses.
No! No!
And then I'm like, hamstring all 22 horses.
No!
To run. Like, what's the problem?
Don't fuck with my inner horse, girl.
Yeah, like, Stoic would never do that. But as a player,
He loves
as a
horses.
player, I'm like, oh, that's easy.
Yeah. Problem solved.
Anyway, to fully finish answering your question, the other 20 would be the weaker links, if you will. Like,
But there's not like
less
like within the system. There's not like an obvious like gap in there, like how they
in
manage
fact, the
things.
problem is like that you're seeing is that the Crown's Guard are very on top of things.
Yeah.
Like they are,
Filling
and
it all
even the
in.
non-officers are sometimes giving orders to the regulars, like, hey, stay over here. Just like they are
They're
making
filling in any
sure,
gaps.
yeah, that things are getting taken care of.
But it does mean that they're constantly having to be watchful of us, their surroundings, and keep the competency of the group of non-competents. So it does at least mean that the weakness is the fact that 10 men are having to do the work of themselves and the other 20 men
To a degree.
by proxy.
To a
because-
degree, it doesn't look like it's a ton of work to keep the other guys in line. They're not idiots. They're
Yeah.
not like,
But
they're
it
not
but
like
it does require
villagers
but
in-
it does require them to be doing like each 10 of them is doing a little bit more than just keeping eye.
Yeah, kind of. It's just an occasional thing. Just occasionally they're pointing out, like, hey.
Listen, what I'm saying is micromanagement is not the ideal way to manage your people.
Sure.
From a business perspective. This team is real. During our one-on-one,
Speaking as a boss babe.
girl boss gatekeep.
Okay. So they start, they finish their rest or anything like that and start rounding people back up, instructing you guys to get back
water
in
and
your
food are given to everybody.
Does anyone else want to sit with Spectre?
I'll trade with you. Girls can ride up front, boys can ride in the back.
Sure.
Is he bothering you that? Is he bothering you?
He's bothering Saren, honestly. It's the lack of facial expression and the staring without blinking, I think.
You didn't strike me as such a squeamish type, but it's all right.
Yeah.
That's
We
all
all
right.
have our flaws.
Actually, since he does listen to you, can you ask Spectre to count to 10, blink, count to 10, blink, and just continue to do that? It can kind of be his activity while we're riding. It'll make him feel more comfortable.
Actively blink.
And then you just see him.
Every 10 seconds.
This would be worse.
Yeah.
And then I can take my notebook, and I'll be able to keep track of
Keep count.
There you go.
I'm gonna keep track of time by the number of times this man blinks.
I can, but it seems like it would be more advantageous to have his attentions elsewhere.
Oh, that's fair. Sorry, sir.
You gonna be alright?
But I'll come sit with you.
I'll survive.
Okay.
Enjoy your ride.
Yeah, I'll come sit with you.
Sure.
Okay. She does go over and whisper something to Spectre, and then goes back
dear.
over to the
Nice.
carriage.
Oh no. Oh no.
I miss Fallon. I could have read her lips.
And so the four
It was
women get into one carriage, the
Yeah.
boys get into the other carriage.
Yep.
You feel the lurch as they all start, and Spectre is just staring dead at you.
I fucking love her.
Cool.
For the next 4 hours.
Oh boy.
Just looking outside at the lattice window.
And so you continue like that with short breaks through the rest of the day. You guys are considered exhausted at this point because you haven't.
Slept.
Yeah. So you will have a point of exhaustion at the moment.
So we stop every 4 hours, is that what you said? Or
We just
Yeah, roughly.
Okay, so there's just no time for a long rest.
Yep, not so far.
I do my best to try to keep Kiri as much like quiet time as possible.
Take what?
Kiri, I'm trying to give Kiri as many like comfortable short rests as possible. I don't know if that helps her in any way, but I'm just like super focused on like trying to keep her comfortable.
Yeah, she's seems to be doing a little better since Enthris like talked to her, but Enthris looks okay.
Of course she does.
Like she doesn't look exhausted.
Yeah.
Shouldn't look like she needs sleep.
Well, we know she doesn't.
I know. I know.
Well, we got some of our stuff at least.
We do, which is fantastic. I have my notebook, which means
You can
Yeah,
talk to some
little-
folks.
I can communicate with the aiders pretty easily, and also if we get in a fight and one of us goes down, they will get a second chance. So, matter of fact, and I'll start writing in my journal. Just be like, "Hey, Idris, might bother you a little more than often because we're just kind of stuck in a carriage right now, and I've got nothing better to do." And I'll write him that, and also go, "We're heading towards Odin.
Odin.
Yeah, Odin.
We're heading towards Odin. There's 30 guards, 10 elites, and 20 just normal soldiers. We may need a little help with extraction if you think that's possible."
I've sent word to Alden already. I sent word to both in case. So something should arise at Alden if you... It sounds like you're not able to extract yourself before that.
We could try, but it wouldn't be a sure bet, and so we would rather do it once and make sure it works than attempt something and raise security.
I understand. I would rather you be free for next steps as we prepare to speak with General Cray, but I would rather you survive than... And Crown's Guard are not to be taken lightly.
That's good to know. Yeah, we will keep you updated on our travel because I have an open communication with you. I don't know how fast you can get messages to your members in the field, but
Much faster than we used to be able to, thanks to you.
that's right, Falcons. So I'll just make regular updates to you and let you know if anything changes.
Please do.
Stoic, have you been able to make contact with the other plane? Our wizard friend?
I mean, I can. I haven't, but I can.
You should let him know about what is going on here in Lirindil.
Yeah.
Now that we know who the players are. Because that's important for him to know.
Yeah, that's a good point. You got nothing better to do. Just riding in the car. So, gonna start riding in Duriel, and I'm just gonna. Basically, I'm just gonna tell him we found the vampire, and we found the one responsible for the necromancy, and quite possibly responsible for the dark flame itself. And let him know who that is.
The
And-
Rexes.
Yeah, and that Endwick is put himself in a position of power within this kingdom. Pretty much the whole leadership of this kingdom is rotten to the core, and things
things are looking really bad.
Well, you have been quite busy. I see.
Yeah. First time we slowed down.
I had heard that Araziah was a powerful wizard, so it makes sense if he is, though perhaps underestimated, if he is succeeding in creating these monarchs. To have such a prominent position in such a country will make it difficult, but nothing we do is ever not. And you found the vampire as well.
We have the rebels on our side. They want to stop him regardless. They don't know his full background or about the monarchs, really, but they are aligned with us in removing him from office. So we have some allies here.
So you're going to go kill him?
Well, Tildwin, yes. The wizard, we rely on your guidance. Because we don't know how he's doing the things he's doing or for what purpose. We'd like, I think, taking him out is the best way, but I do think we need to learn more before we enact anything.
Well, he is notoriously reclusive, so if we are to learn more, it will be found in his keep.
Which is back at downtown, right?
Mm-hmm. It is back downtown. Also, we are woefully underskilled to be able to go up against some terrifying wizard.
In a wizard tower.
In his tower.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with this wizard, or do you just know him through fame, I guess?
Wizards of note are known to most wizards of note, and I make a point to keep track of those of note.
Y'all are all keeping track of people.
Do you think you could take him in a wizard duel?
This is cringe.
This is stoic. Like, of course he's gonna have that. Like,
I'm afraid I have to remind you that I'm unable to leave Lorethel per my agreement with children and Morin.
there. I don't write that. We could. We have a port key and just take him there. I'm like, okay, beat him up. Well, we will keep you updated, but if you could put more eyes in this area, now that we know how big of a threat is actually here, it's no longer a theory. So, any information you can get through your networks or through addresses would be very helpful, because it's going to be a minute before he knows we're on to him, so we can't get really close right now. So
I'll speak to Hadressa and others and see what is known about him. And what of Indwick?
let me in Hadris, or let me in
Huntress?
thank you, Anthras. Deal with him.
All right.
And then
This is good progress.
And I kind of look around at the fact that we're in a wagon being taken out of town after he says that. Yes, it is.
If you say so.
And then I relay the conversation to their wagon that I had with Adris and with Enduriel. Everybody's up to date. Looks like we might have some backup in the town. I just need to try and rest, I guess, until then.
I'm feeling absolutely exhausted, but we'll do our best.
How are the guards looking? Because they're not getting any. They're getting the same amount of rest we're getting.
I mean, they're looking tired.
Okay.
The Crown's Guard, less so.
Yeah.
You get the impression these are durable men.
Mm-hmm.
The others, you even hear some grumbling here and there occasionally, out of earshot of the Crown's Guard, but it's and the horses are kind of looking tired and everything, but they also seem to be very good horses too. So, but eventually you do stop as the sun starts to set. You do stop, and seem to be setting up camp for the night finally.
Okay.
So, anything you want to accomplish while you're setting up for the night?
What are they letting us do? Are they letting us pop our own tent? Are they? How are they?
After some discussion, the captain will allow you to use a tent.
Okay.
Use your tent if you have it.
I will go for our tent,
Which is in the bag.
which is in the bag,
Yeah.
because they're already going to watch me like a hawk. Before we get out of the cart, I'm gonna look at Empress and like, who is good with their hands?
Well,
You know what I mean. Unseen. As best as possible.
I suppose it depends on what you want.
We need to start slowly arming ourselves again.
Well, respect can make people invisible.
As can I.
What's going on?
So I don't think we need to make the whole of us invisible. That's going to be a little suspicious, but...
I'm quite silent of foot
Yep.
if I am not seen. But I also need to get some rest. Otherwise I am not very good at much.
So what do you propose?
You want to try first thing in the morning?
Just before sunlight.
All right.
It does mean also that they have also rested as well. So we might also need some light distractions.
Well, that I can do.
And let us make camp.
Well, I hope you don't mind if we join you.
Absolutely.
More the merrier.
I don't think we want to be drawing attention to my normal accommodations.
I mean, this one is still pretty nice.
Well, I did buy it.
And it has been well used.
I'm glad to hear it.
Help get everyone set up. Make some modest meal for everyone. Some tea. I am going to brew some of the tea that makes tummies hurt.
Okay.
And I am going to go out towards some of the regular dudes, and I'd just say I brewed too much tea and we're about to head to bed. Does anyone want the rest of the pot?
Roll a persuasion check.
Oh, that's great.
Persuasion, you said?
Mm-hmm.
27.
Okay. The regulars kind of look at each other, and one of them shrugs and he's like, "I guess I will."
Sure. If you want to pass it around, there's enough for a couple cups left.
Somebody, the guy next to him is like, I don't drink that stuff.
And then I just leave the pot and I go inside like very nonchalant.
Okay.
And if anyone drinks it, they're gonna have some tummy crumbles.
Okay. Interest does pull you aside at one point before you guys go to sleep, and she's just stoic. I've been thinking, when we extricate ourselves, I think I need to accept the invitation. He knows I'm here. He's not going to let us leave. At least not without whatever it is he's wanting from me. And I'm not saying I actually have dinner. I am saying I'm going to go find him. Or else he will hunt us down. He will hunt me down.
And I want to go with you when you do that. And honestly, I think the rest of the group want to go along. He is one of the leaders that the rebellion wants gone as well. I think when we do escape, that we just let the rebellion know what we're doing, and they may even assist. There's no reason to go alone.
All right.
Because trust me, he's on my list as well.
Oh, I know.
But for now, we need to get some rest, and we need to be ready to escape this when the opportunity arises.
All right.
But he will pay.
Yes. He will. I think we're gonna end it there.
How to kill a vampire.
Could be back.
I love your brain and I hate your brain at the same time. It's so good, but also fuck you. So much drama.
There's a lot of
Oh, we got the
stress.
same one too.
They said they're all the same, you just opened different.
We did. We all had the same. Well, supposedly we were supposed to get a metal orb done. So,
Oh.
like, at least I was hoping at least one of us, because they probably bought all the same metal and all the same stone, and like I was hoping.
But we have matching friendship.
But we do. We all have
D20s.
now matching D20s.
How gross and adorable.
Oh,
I
you got
love this
matching
dress.
D6. You got.
Yeah.
I like this one. You got the same.
So,
Yeah.
I will.
Thanks that D6.
I will say this: with getting out of the gala alive, you're level 12.
I don't know what that means for me yet. I
I don't
have
either.
to read
I'm
what
like,
my
Oh, I got to pick.
Going right now.
I know what I
that's
think I
the
know
one
what
I'm
I'm
waiting
doing.
for.
11 was the one I was waiting for to be able to have the
There's some tense
Reliable
rolls happening
talent.
behind the screen for that conversation with Araziah. That was something.
Yeah, that
my
was.
stomach was like
Oh, wow.
Interesting conversation. Getting a glimpse into his mind.
that was a glimpse too close. Licorice. Like, listen, I was like, my wings are made of wax. That was too close. I'd rather not be near things.
Yeah.
So scary. It was such a scary conversation. Also, why do you make such creepy people?
Yeah, I do. I get a new invocation.
I mean, he's not exactly going to be like a flower-loving hippie, just
Sure, but you
creating
make
monarchs,
specifically creepy people. Like, you don't just make baddies. You make, like... kind of like where your skin starts to itch kind of people. You make those people. I still dream about the Bone Man sometimes. He haunts my dream, like my real dreams, like my human dreams, not my Asura character dreams.
He is intentionally like a horror monster.
Yeah.
Like he's
Yeah.
he's something.
I'll tell you who was a horror monster was like sitting on the floor. I'm not doing that. I'm not messing with that. Mm-mm.
I don't want a melty man. No.
I do not want that. It's giving the like scary stories to tell in the dark. The pale lady. That's what I was envisioning. What she looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big nah.
I haven't thought about that in a long. I haven't thought about that in a long time. Ooh.
The pale lady?
Yeah, I can show you a picture of her.
Oh.
With the greasy long hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Oh no. You gave him ideas. You
I'm
introduced.
also laughing that there's a picture of her with a text that says free hugs.
Yeah, she like consumes you.
Yeah.
Oh.
She like
okay.
hugs you into her body.
Really?
And consumes
Okay.
you. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Why was he gonna eat us if things went bad?
She was gonna consume us. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what was gonna happen
fair.
there.
That's fair.
He's hungry, right?
No, thank you. No, thank you. I don't want melty man near me.
There's only one way to find out.
I'll send him a message.
I'm okay.
I'll say, hey, what's going on there?
Hey! What's up?
Bud.
Did you finally get dinner? What have you been?
Oh god.
We can get Spectre to send the message. He offered.
Yeah. Wait, do some dream walking.
Yeah.
What's in your dreams, melty man?
Well, Spectre wasn't there.
Yeah,
so.
that's true. He wouldn't be able
I'm
to do it.
familiar with Melty Man. All right, well, good job, guys. Good stuff. A lot of interesting developments. Really intrigued to see where you guys go with this and what you do. And we will find out next week.
Yep.
As we hopefully do not get sick or any other crazy stuff like has been happening for months now. And we can continue for the next week before we have to stop anyway for a couple
Christmas
weeks.
and New Year's break, yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause I think it's just next week, and then
Yeah, and then we're right back into the holidays again.
yeah, that's all right.
Yep.
All right, cool. All right, well, we will be back next week to see how things can progress. Here, as things are getting real and little. We will see you guys in a week. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Goodbye.